Yo, welcome back to the Cage, where we talk about everything comics, anime, gaming, entertainment. It's your boy Sensei. I'm here with Mike Beasy and of course DJ. And we gotta, we gonna be back at it like we never left, ladies and gentlemen. It's been y'all ain't seen us in a while. We ain't seen y'all in a while, but we gonna be right back at it, like we never left, man. How's everybody been doing, yo? Talk to me, Beasy. How you been, brother?
Good, man. Good. Doing the good old fighting the good old fight. Working, dadding. Y'all know how that goes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel you there. What's up, DJ? How you been, brother?
Man, I've been good, been good. That like Mike Beasley said, just working, dad, and doing the whole thing.
Oh yeah, working and dadding don't never stop. You know what I mean? Working and dadding for sure.
Right.
And a lot of building's been going on too lately. You feel me? So we got a lot of stuff in the infrastructure that in the pipeline that's gonna be coming to y'all in the future. So make sure you all ready for that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, brother, I feel like there's been nerdy news happening just one after another. You know what I mean? One after just boom, 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 and it's just been crazy. Yo, speaking of one after another, I gotta start with kind of a hot take, yo. One
Uh-oh.
battle after
I
another
knew this was coming.
was absolutely just I don't know what was going on there, bro. I don't know what was going on there. I was not a fan of it at all. Actually, from start to finish, it really never caught my attention. I was it was mad. I think I was not a fan. I was not a fan. I was like, what is going on here? How was y'all feeling about that movie?
So this was a film that was like it's one of those that's split down the middle. Like you like it or you hate it.
Mm,
You like it or you hate it. And so I like Tiana Taylor.
yeah.
About it. About it.
Yeah,
It's
she
about it.
it was too long. It was just I was how did you feel, DJ, before I start tearing it
I
apart limb from limb?
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched
Oh,
it. I
okay.
saw the trailer,
You're good, man.
and like it wasn't really my speed. And I was like, I'll miss it. But
Yeah.
here's the thing though, like I know like DiCaprio is like a huge draw. He's not a huge draw for me personally. Like I loved
Mm,
Inception. I loved Shutter Island. And Wolf of Wall
mm,
Street was pretty good too. But like seeing DiCaprio isn't enough to be like, oh, like I'm gonna go sit down and watch this movie. You know what I mean? So just watching the trailer alone, it just wasn't enough for me personally to be like, oh, I'm gonna check this movie out. But I've got a my watch list is so deep. Like I still haven't seen Sinners. Like I've got a
oh,
lot
okay,
that I
okay,
still need to. My back
okay.
catalog is just it goes on. So yeah, that's not one that moves the needle for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can't. I watched it. So I watched the movie in two increments because I gave up the first time. I wasn't gonna watch it at all because the first time I watched it, I watched the movie. Tiana Taylor was cool in it. You know, I was like, okay, this is cool. There's a plot line in the movie around Tiana Taylor, and once that plot line kind of came to an end, the movie kind of came to an end for me in a way.
Mhm.
I was kind of like, okay, the character that Leonardo DiCaprio played, he was not the attention getter. She was, right? So
Right.
once you take the attention getter out of the equation and you kind of force me to kind of pay attention to Leonardo DiCaprio, who I agree with you, DJ, that is not like Leonardo's in it. Oh, I gotta go. Like
Yeah.
that's not, that's not the vibe. Um, and I watched the movie. I got 55 minutes in, stopped. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm cool. And then I made a TikTok. I was like, this movie is cheeks. Like just to put it lightly. People weren't happy about that. I'm gonna be honest. They
Saw
were
your
not
post on
happy about
Threads,
it,
man. I saw your post
yeah,
on Threads, and they were upset.
people were
They
upset.
were upset.
People were upset on TikTok. People were upset on everything. They was like, "Oh, but I bet you like Sinners, didn't you?" And I was like, "That's a very interesting take
Not
for you to go
relevant, but
to
hey,
immediately." I wonder what made you say that. You know,
exactly. Right.
I wonder what that was. But you know,
Well, that's where that's a lot of that discourse against, like, it was like Sinners or Martyrs Supreme. Which one did you like? And if you didn't like one, you
yeah,
had to like the other. And it's just like I haven't seen either one. Like, but like
I
I
still
know
haven't seen Marty
Marty
Supreme
Supreme,
either.
like one for me. Like, you know, I saw the trailer and I was like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man. And I didn't know that it was gonna go down like that. I mean, literally, it was a 5-second video, my guy. It was I was like, yep, I'm not. Like, this is not it. Like this. Like I said, I'll put it lightly. I said a lot. I said a lot more than that. It was
Yeah.
a much stronger language than that. But you know, but you know, the gist was this movie is terrible, and I stand by that. I think it's a bad movie. I kind of think it's one of those movies that I know art is subjective, but I think it's one of those movies that you look at and it's like, this might be a little objectively bad when you look at it in a little couple of ways. Because you're like, what is this movie actually about? And it's kind of not about anything. So it was one of those movies for me. So I just wasn't a big fan of that. I felt like it was 2 hours. The movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's
by
very
the way.
long.
So that's a lot of time to commit to something that was so ridiculous, and that's why I was done at 55. I was like, I'm 55 minutes in, and I feel like I still don't know what this movie is about. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I still don't know what this movie is about. I don't know if I have another 2 hours solid to give this. But people were like, you didn't even finish it, so how do you know? So I finished it.
That's how
Still
I
trash.
know.
So
Because I didn't finish
it's
it.
still it actually somehow got worse. The plots seemed to unravel even more. I was like, this is crazy. I didn't think this was gonna happen. You know, like it was one of those movies where they tried to make the audience not be able to guess anything by choosing the worst possible outcome for every decision. that's kind of where I'll leave that. Okay, I'll
Worst
leave
possible
that.
That's hilariously. That's
Bro, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
Breezy. Like,
yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, oh, everyone
That's
is
a good
gonna
way to put
guess
it.
that this is what's gonna happen, so
We're gonna do
let's
it.
not do that. We're gonna do the exact opposite, and sometimes that works.
Not here.
It didn't here, G. It did
Not
not
here.
work here.
Not
It did
here.
not work.
Not even a little bit.
And then there was a crazy race angle in the middle of the
Yeah,
movie
and that was the
kind
other
of
thing. It
wasn't
was a
there
it was
all
a
the
it was a
time.
that was
It
the
was
weird
so
part.
wild. I couldn't
That was the
believe it.
weird
It
part.
was
I don't
like,
understand why they put
yeah.
that there.
And it was not there for the first half of the movie. And
No.
that's why I was so confused. It's just like all of a sudden they're just like, are they black? And you're like, what? And you're like, wait a minute, what? I'm an hour into this movie. No one is. What are we talking? I was like, bro, what? Wait a minute.
Oh my goodness, man.
Y'all tricked me.
I did a
Y'all
lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, man,
they
that was
took
crazy.
some liberties. There. They took some liberties.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to talk about that. I just wanted to rant about that real quick. I thought it was crazy. I want to know how people are feeling about that movie, though. If you guys have seen one battle after another, let me know how you feel about it. If you think it's amazing, let me know so I can tell you why you're wrong. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Now, when you post this short, it's gonna go crazy. When you post this on
I'm going
YouTube,
to.
it's gonna go crazy.
Oh, it's getting posted. It's getting posted.
Oh, man.
He already clipped it. He's ready.
It's getting clipped and shipped. It's the first thing. It's coming out before the episode. All right. But it's cage time, baby. So that let's get into the cage because that's what we're here to really talk about, to really nerd out about. And honestly, I think we have some crazy pulls. I think the stack is also insane. Like just the whole thing, man. Like, as you guys know, I do on-site coverage at Comic Book Clubhouse now. So I'm reading a lot of the descriptions and checking out all of these pages like in the store and stuff. So unfortunately, it's hurt my wallet a little bit because now I'm in the store every week and I got a reason to be there. But at the same time, it's just so awesome to kind of be able to go through all of these and see them and then also get a lot of people's first reactions on how, what those new comic books are. And the first one that we have on the docket is one that I'm happy that we're even going to be talking about. Again, big shout out to our boy DJ, who always putting this amazing show presentation together for us. My guy is doing the work right here. And the first thing that we have on the docket is Superman, Spider-Man #1. Yo, I almost want to give room for applause here because man, like I
Yeah.
know a lot of I think
Yeah.
this has been the year of the crossover as well. I think we kind of ended 2025 with kind of starting like ramping the crossover hype up. But coming into 2026, I mean, yo, it's been crossover city. And one thing I do want to say before I go into reading this is that Josh, the owner of Comic Book Clubhouse, he let me know that people don't actually realize that this is a different issue from Spider-Man Superman. So people aren't actually coming into the shops and
Yeah.
picking it up because everyone is thinking that this is, it's just a re-release of the first issue basically. So
Yeah.
to anybody that's out there watching this right now, know that this is different. You should know that there is Spider-Man, Superman that was done by Marvel, and this is Superman, Spider-Man that is done by DC. So let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Legendary creators take on the Man of Steel and your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Written by Mark Waid, Tom King, Matt Fraction, Sean Murphy, Gail Simone, Christopher Priest, Greg Rucka, and Jeff Lemire, with art by Jorge Jimenez, Jim Lee, Steve Lieber, Sean Murphy, Belen Ortega, Daniel Sampier, Nicholas Scott, and Rafa Sandoval. The last son of Krypton meets your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. When journalists Clark Kent and Peter Parker find themselves chasing the same story, the conspiracy they uncover could change the world, especially if Brainiac and Dr. Octopus have anything to say about it. And we bet they do. Good thing our intrepid news hounds are secretly Superman and the Amazing Spider-Man. Brought to you by legendary storytellers Mark Waid and Jorge Jimenez. And don't miss these bonus stories. Tom King and Jim Lee tell a tale of Lois Lane and Mary J. Watson. Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber revisit Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and Carnage. Sean Murphy, meanwhile, takes us to the future with Superboy and Spider-Man 2099. Gail Simone teams up with Belen Ortega for a look at what happens when Power Girl meets Punisher. Christopher Priest and Daniel Sampier show us a time when Superboy Prime, who reads all the comics, decided to visit Spider-Man right after he got the black suit. Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott take us on an exciting race between the Daily Planet and the Daily Bugle. Plus, we finally get to answer the age-old question of who would win in a fair fight, Pa Kent or Uncle Ben. Just kidding. Those guys are too nice to fight each other. But Jeff Lemire and Rafa Sandoval will take us deep into the past to see the two men bond in the face of adversity. Celebrate 50 years of DC and Marvel crossovers with 8 new original stories by some of DC's top talent. Holy. Okay. Okay.
Legends.
Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me.
This book, it's supersized issue, essentially, like, and like you had said before, since it's not going to be the same when they do Marvel's version, Spider-Man, Superman. And that was the same thing when they did the Batman Deadpool crossover, right? The one publisher they told a story, and then the other publishers, they told a separate story. Um, I I enjoyed being able to dive into this one and seeing all the different stories that they were telling there. I guess the main story, the Truth Justice story, with Spider-Man and Superman and Brainiac and Doc Ock. It's amazing how they pulled this all together in this seamless way, where it's like it, I never read, I guess, the original crossover. Um, But like to read this one is like this is a universe essentially where they are already meshing, right? There is no like, oh, here's this great cosmic thing where like now Spider-Man's here or now Superman's here. Like this is a world where they all coexist. And I thought that was a really interesting take.
Yeah.
Reading it and seeing all of it was just really cool. And like the panels I think were really great in my opinion. Seeing it
Yeah,
all.
look at that. I mean, man, that's incredible already.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. How are you feeling about this, BZ? Have you
It's
already
I
read?
feel the
So both
same.
of you have read this already, then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel the same. And I
Darn
mean,
it!
you you
I
read off
didn't do the
all
homework,
the
guys.
you read off all the names, all the heavy hitters that had something to do with this. Mark Waid, Gail Simone, Tom King, like, and then the artist on top of that, Jimenez. I mean, there's no way this wasn't going to be a banger. You got all that talent come together on, a similar goal. They all get to do their thing together on here. There was no way it was going to miss. You get to kind of see how similar these characters are. Like, even if you just look at them side by side, I mean, the red and blue, all of that, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And kind of like how they
Yeah.
look at people in society and
Yeah.
those kind of things. You kind of see the similarity. So it made sense actually of these two kind of
Okay.
teaming up and taking down
Mhm.
the enemies here. So yeah, I don't really much have too much more to add on. DJ kind of covered it all, man. This was a banger, and it's cool to have it to where they already exist. It doesn't take, like you said, some kind of crazy. Even though we like that kind of stuff, the DC's calling card the cosmic craziness, some kind of crisis happening, and then everything comes together. It's none of that, man. We just straight up, oh yeah, oh look, oh you're on it, I'm on it too.
Mhm.
That kind of thing. So
That is awesome, and it's definitely something that you like. You guys said it's not. That's just not what we get usually. We have to go through all of these kind of shenanigans to be like, oh, okay, like this is how this world came to be. You know, it's because Galactus was
Mhm.
lurking for something, and this is it. And you know what I mean. And then we go and do all these other things, but to just give us an omniverse world essentially from the get go to where it's like, nah, man, everything just kind of exists here already. There is no reason to tell you any story. No, everything you know about
Yeah.
Superman, yeah, that did happen here. Everything you know about Spider-Man, yep, that happened here too. Everything you know, like, you know what I mean? Just get it out the way because why not? What would be the reason that these backstories would not be able to coincide with each other? There really isn't one, right? Like, there really isn't one, especially when half of DC places are made up anyway. You know, like,
yeah,
like you can just consolidate that to either they're all in just New York or you still have a separate metropolis and a New York. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter either way. You know what I
right.
mean? Because you know you can consolidate that. Because so I love that, and I love this. The fact that the first thing is called Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility. I mean, brother,
Perfect.
that's heat already. Yeah, that is
Mhm.
insane.
Literally
Um,
perfect.
I do got to show off the comic that I got the print. Look at that. Look at that. That is
Ooh,
insane,
that's
That's
brother.
nice.
fire.
That's nice.
That's
Listen, the
fire.
covers that they put out for this, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Typically, only
Yeah,
have
they
what
went
is I only
crazy.
do 3. I threw quite a few of them in there because
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're all good. You've got and some of those are the other side stories that they're telling, right? But you've
Mm-hmm.
got
Mhm.
Superboy Prime, and Black Suit Spider-Man. You've got Power Girl Punisher. You've got
That's so hard.
Supergirl and what's her name? Shoot, I can't remember her name, but like they really showed out, with these
Oh, Anya. Yeah,
covers.
Yeah.
Anya.
Anya, yeah, yeah, yeah. And those side stories themselves that they're kind of telling, like those are good too. You know what I mean? So when you
Okay.
do
Fire,
dive
bro.
into it, when you guys read this one, like it'll be a good one. Also, like it's not just oh Superman is interacting with Spider-Man. You see them interacting as Clark and Peter Parker, and they have a really, in my opinion, really cool moment.
Oh.
Um, at the top of the Daily Bugle, not
Oh
the Daily Bugle of
yeah.
Daily Planet,
Planet.
and like there's this conversation um, of you have Clark Kent, that like journalist and like integrity and like that he's big on that, and he's like he calls out Jameson, right? He's like, why do you
Mm.
take all these pictures of Spider-Man just for them to turn around and like dog you, right? Like you let Jameson dog you, and Peterson is like, it doesn't hurt anybody but me, and like it put me through college. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I ain't tripping. Like it paid the bills, right?
Yeah.
And like that's one of the most millennial, like realistic, like almost like millennial coded kind of aspect of the writing is like it didn't hurt anybody but me, and it really didn't hurt me because it put me through college. Like it paid my bills.
Took care of what I need to
I
take
ain't
care
tripping.
of. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. I can't wait to dive into this one. It sounds like the first impressions are high off of
They
this one.
are,
And
man.
I mean the cover alone, right, is the first impression,
Yeah.
and it
Every
brings
time.
you in. I think you even said it at the top, Beezy, with you when you were kind of talking about it. The way that you see them next to each other, and you just see the way that they can play off each other in so many ways, and it just I think it's probably one of the, like, we've talked about how Hope Core has become a thing. Like, these are the
Mhm.
poster boys of Hope Core, if you will. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like, this is pivotal Hope Core right here. Like, that is exactly what Superman and Spider-Man are. Like, even that conversation that you just said, like, it is that there is so much emotion in that, because that is just who these characters are at their core levels. And when you kind of take those back, you're able to see something incredible from it.
Facts.
That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. That is dope. Okay, let's get into the next one on the list, and that is Superman number 36. The reign of the Superboys begins. After the shocking events of DC.K.O., Superman is missing, but one hero steps up to take his place. Superboy Prime. Normally, Prime has only been part of passive DC events, but now he gets a real shot at showing the world he can be just as great a hero as Superman. Superstar artist Dan Mora returns to Superman for an action-packed and fun adventure that changes the face of the DC universe.
That's true.
BZ, that's your boy. That's your boy.
All right, BZ,
You
My
get
talk to
first
guy,
me.
dibs.
man. Listen, Superboy
Talk to me,
Prime.
B.
Prime is my favorite Superman related character, dog. And like they said in that description, that's exactly how they've done him. You only seen him in crisis events. And then he came back briefly, and then they kind of shunted him off to another universe to be happy, but they still put him off to the side, right? He was kind of like off and away. And then here comes another event in DCKO, and then they bring him back for that, right? So that's literally kind of how they've treated Superboy for as long as I can remember. He was like, he's usually a villain, and then, he kind of teeters with good and bad because he, at the core, he's still a Superman. But he's kind of been like secondary. So here, since the KO events, they literally bring him back into the forefront as a hero, and he's trying to do great. He's trying to do well. He's trying to fill Superman's shoes because Superman is out. He's away after the events of this KO stuff. So it's really cool that he is back in the forefront and he's interacting with the super family, right? With John and and Kara and all of them, right? So he's so snarky. He's still, he's still got that chip on his shoulder type vibe. So it's really fun to see him in this light. And it seems like there's going to be more of him with this story. But this story in itself is a very interesting one. And DJ and myself were kind of talking about it in the Discord a little bit because a while back, DJ was like, we need to let these younger guys take the role.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that.
Yeah. That has been
I
a
agree with
sentiment,
that.
yeah.
I agree with that. And so I think spinning out of KO, we probably will see a little bit more of that. But this was an interesting story for I don't want to get too much to him. Let DJ take over that part. But yeah, this was a very interesting story.
Yeah.
Talk to me, DJ.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
It was a good one. Like Bezio said, right? Like it's always kind of been like where Superboy Prime has been sidelined. It's like one of those, they come out for events and it's like, all right, these are the characters now you can play with. All right, now that you have this massive event that's happening, and then they have to go like get locked back away, right? Because part of his shtick, right, is that he knows he's in a comic book. It's almost like that for the casuals, right, is that Deadpool effect, right? He
Yep.
knows he's in
Yeah.
a comic book. He knows he's in a movie, right, or whatever medium he's in. He even makes a joke about it, like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Superman, right? I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna hang out with the Justice League and da da da, and then I'm gonna get my own #1 issue, right?"
Yeah.
And like Lois is like, "Well, what are you talking about? Like this dude, he's kind of crazy." But like
Wow.
that's kind of that little light little jab for us fans that he knows, he recognizes that he's in a comic book. And as a small caveat to what we were talking about before, when he has that moment with Spider-Man, right? Like he able to find Spider-Man. He's like, I need the black suit, and like, oh, what? Oh, this is issue da da da. You ain't got it, whatever. But like back to this, like it was a really
Uh,
interesting book. I loved it. There is my gripe that like, man, they gotta let these like give more room for these legacy characters, and like with this whole reign of the Superboys kind of event that they have going on now that Superman is gone, and you have these like that time displaced younger John Kent is back, right? But also older John Kent is still here, and they have to deal with that. And then they also have a younger Clark Kent who's going to show up, and then we're going to have this interaction with Connor, as well as all these Superboys come in, and then also Supergirl as well, having to kind of fill that mantle of Superman in that same vein of like with the Death of Superman arc and that reign of the
Mhm.
Superman way back in the day, right? So they're playing off of that. I'm be very interested to see how this goes. And yeah, like this is a good one. If you don't have it, you definitely want to pick that one up.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a Superman fan because even in the Action
Hmm.
Comics, when he mentioned another young Superman, Clark Kent, that's where they are in the Action Comics run. They went back to him becoming Superman and where he is now, like in his teen years, operating as Superman, like he's helping fight in wars and he's doing all these other things military wise while still being Superman and trying to, kind of get a grasp on how to handle things while still being a teenager. So it's interesting that how all of this lines up and,
Hmm.
to see how this will eventually cross into this story here. So it's really, really interesting what they're doing with their Superman character right now.
Yeah.
okay, I like that, man. Yeah, I did not know that Superboy Prime had those kind of assets to him, if you will. I didn't know that was
Powers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't
His
know that was his
origin.
shtick. But
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
his
man.
dope.
origin essentially like the universe that he was a part of uh pre-crisis is essentially he was in our world, right? Like he was reading about these, and then crisis happened and he got pulled in. And then during convergence they threw him in a pocket dimension with a version of a younger, or no, I think it was older, uh Clark and Lois and Ma Kent, and then
Uh-huh.
also and Alexander Luthor. They, and essentially he kind of goes crazy observing, right, essentially the universe, and that's kind of what takes him down that path of evil. But yeah, he knows so much, and part of this issue here is Mr. Terrific being like, nah, this dude, like he can't stay here, like he can't stay in the Watchtower, right? If you've been reading like the Justice League Unlimited book, which takes a lot of that from the cartoon, right?
Mhm.
Which is like you just have the Justice League team, everybody essentially, every hero is essentially part of the Justice League, and Mr. Terrific is essentially like helping him manage it, and he's like, no, he can't stay on the Watchtower like a lot of other heroes kind of do, right? He could, because he knows too much, like not just because he's from an alternate dimension, not just because he's from a potential future, but because he claims he's read about us in books, like he knows stuff about us that like only someone who's read a comic book would know, like like,
Mhm.
and it's like he can't, he's too dangerous, right, essentially. So that's
Mhm.
where he's like, nah, Lois takes him, like, hey, you got to go get a job.
Yeah.
Like, which
Hey,
is,
that's dope.
as someone with an older, dude, hey, you got to go get a job, bro. Like, I've so it's interesting to see that dynamic play out. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a
For
good one.
sure. That's awesome. That's awesome. Definitely gonna have to check that one out. Of course, I got the
Yeah, that's
issue of him
fire.
reading Absolute Superman, which is just freaking peak. I love that.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's super dope,
That's so
All
fire right
right.
there, dude.
Yeah, for real, man. They go crazy. Marketing is crazy for that type of character to be reading such a fire comic as what, like, marketing is on 10 there. All
Yeah.
right. Next up is the Fantastic Four First Foes from the world of the cinematic masterpiece. Return of the universe of the legendary film in the first of a series of specials. On Earth 828, a cosmic mishap has transformed four brave astronauts into the world's champions and protectors. They are the Fantastic Four. But one person isn't happy about things. He's known as the Mad Thinker, and he's determined to get his proper due by turning the city of tomorrow against its heroic patrons. What is going on here?
This is one of those remember right before the movie came out and they were advertising a movie canon comic.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what we got going on here. And this is another special that they dropped on the backside of it. And it kind of focuses on the montage of villains that we saw in the film at the, when they're just talking about
Oh, okay.
the Fantastic Four becoming the Fantastic Four. And
Yeah.
the prequel comic actually detailed the battle with Mole Man and the deal that they brokered. That's where the comic ended. And in the movie, they kind of glossed over it a little bit, and that's how why they have the relationship with Mole Man that they do when the movie hits, right? And so this is kind of in that same vein. We're just getting more
Okay.
detail into how we're dealing with because Thinker was one of the villains in the montage as well, right? It's probably
Yeah.
like four or five villains that was in that early montage, and I got a feeling that we're going to get something related to all of them in this regard. I haven't finished this issue, but that's kind of where we're going with it, and I like it because and we've talked about this at length, um,
Yes.
disgustingly so in some ways about how the movies influence the comics, where they'll go back and redesign the characters to look like their movie counterparts, but it's still not related in any way. These guys go straight into it. They're like, no, 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 no. This is that. This is that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even have to worry about it. So then that's something that I appreciate, because if you're gonna do it, then just do it. And so they're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
it. And so it's really fun. And it's kind of like a little, like, thanks for supporting us type thing. You're a fan. Let's keep it going with
Yep.
the fandom. We know some of y'all read.
Mm.
Here's something for you to read.
That's awesome. Have you checked this one out, DJ?
I have. I I thought it was really cool. In the sense of like you were saying, BZ, like, look, I mean, one of the things I think that added to the success of First Steps was the fact that, like, they didn't have to spend the first 30-40 minutes on an origin story, and they montaged it, right? And then now
Yeah.
we have these comics where they're able to then kind of tell some of the, like, oh, remember that one little 5-second little montage page? Here's a comic that kind
Mhm.
of goes more into depth. And I think that's honestly really smart. And
Mhm.
if they go that route, um, more in the future with a lot more of these MCU projects, I think that would be pretty smart. Just because, like, you get to tell more of your actual story instead
Mm.
of having to do all the setup and having to do all the groundwork. That's not to say that it's not needed. We still need to understand who these characters are, what their motivations are. But I think putting that medium into a comic, go pick this up for $5, whatever, read it online, wait till some YouTuber, you know, reviews it and tells you all about it or whatever, instead of having to take up that real estate on their feature length projects. I think that's really smart. I read the issue. It was pretty good to kind of see that dynamic, and see those characters again until we see them up on the big screen. And they do plan on telling more of these stories. They plan
Mm.
on telling more with Galactus and Shia LaBeouf and everything. So top marks. I think we've never actually discussed it yet, and I'm looking forward to that conversation when we do get there. But with the Spider-Man teaser, right? There's a time skip, right?
Yeah,
They could
exactly.
easily
That
they
was
could
about to be
easily
my
tell a
next
limited
question for you
series
guys. Like, would you
with
like to
time skip.
see?
Okay, like
Yeah,
yep, absolutely. Because
I
then
would
because it
love to.
really is
I
like
think
go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is the idea. I think that is that would be the best idea for them to do is give it that type of that type of rollout when it comes to it.
Yeah.
That was a question that I had next as well, is like how, we have so many gaps in this universe from one thing to another. We still don't know a lot of the things that happened in that 5 years when everyone was gone during Endgame, right? There's still so many
Mhm.
gaps for a lot of characters that didn't get snapped. And even with like the Doctor Doom of this universe, right? Like when do getting some fill in with that? Like, do we end this comic series with him being featured in it somewhere, and we kind of get a little bit of history of how Doctor Doom is connected to these characters, because he was clearly in Latveria. They had a whole section for that man,
Yeah.
in the movie. So do we get a little
Mhm.
bit of clarification on things like that with his character, or any of the things across the board? How does that look? And like you said with Spidey, like I think that would be so cool to get to see him as a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and get a lot of that context of how he knows Punisher, and how all of that is kind of already understood, because you don't need to necessarily give us that in the movie. I'm more on the side of thinking that the movie starts with that Punisher chase with all of that. Like that's probably the first 15 minutes that is going on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time on letting us know why they know each other. And I don't think that they
Yeah.
should. And
It
I don't think
give
I
us
agree.
another montage, right? Give us another
yeah.
Yeah.
montage, fill in the blanks later in a limited run, like boom,
Hmm.
boom, bam. Like, let's
I agree.
get to
Literally,
it.
that is the purpose of an interconnected universe, right? So
Mhm.
I want to check this one out. It looks good too. The art is looking fantastic actually on these pages. Everything is looking really nice. So I'm gonna have to put this on the list. Look at that. All right. Next up, we got Green Lantern number 33.
Yes, sir.
Kyle Rayner leads the next chapter of the Green Lantern mythos, starting here. Celebrate 600 issues of Green Lantern with epic stories, legendary creators, and new costumes designed by superstar David Nakayama. And this special, oversized 600th issue, Hal Jordan will be tested as never before, and the new Lantern stands poised to step in should he fail. Hal embarks on a mysterious mission while Kyle Rayner finally moves back to Los Angeles and again takes up the mantle of Green Lantern of Earth. Join Kyle as he finds a job, navigates traffic, and chases down escaped villains from Oa. All this, plus a host of legendary guest artists and writers from Lantern's past, and an answer to the question posed to Starfire in the last issue. Yo, talk to me about it.
Yo,
Talk to me.
I've never been more excited for a Green Lantern comic. They have been doing so many cool things with this title and the Green Lantern Corp title, which kind of coincided a little bit with each other.
Oh,
And
okay.
then with just how, again, spinning out of the DCKO event, like this is the time to jump into DC for real. If you haven't been keeping up, like all of these new jump on points, man.
Mhm.
But the question that they're talking about is exactly what you think it is. Hal Jordan popped the question to Star Sapphire, Carol. It got
Mm.
interrupted because you know how these comic book engagements and weddings go, right? It never happens when it's supposed to happen, right? Something always happens that gets in the way. So that's
Mhm.
how the last issue ended, and going into this issue. To see Kyle Rayner back on Earth, that's another thing that's hasn't happened in a very long time. Kyle is normally just out there. Kyle is another one that they bring in for big moments, right? Because he's that guy. He's just that
Mhm.
guy.
Mm.
And so to kind of have your subplot be really about him and readjusting to life on Earth, because he hasn't been on Earth forever. He's been doing everything out in the cosmos, literally everything. And now he's back on Earth, feet on the ground. So just to kind of flip the story a little bit, with Kyle being the one on Earth and focus, because John's retired. John's like, yeah, y'all got it, man. He got pulled back in. But he's like, yeah, man, this. Yeah, call me when you need me. But other than that, I'm out here with another version of my wife out here. You know what I mean? So
did he become the host of Parallax, or am I misremembering that?
He did. John took on, and that's what he's doing right now. He's out. He happened to be out where, in another planet, and they picked up on Parallax's locations. I was like, yeah, bro. And so he willingly took on Parallax. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all unfolds. But to have, and it's kind of how they did with Clark Kent. They send like their main guy off somewhere else so everyone else can shine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that regard, I like that you do that, because now we got time to focus on Hal doing this and Kyle over here. So I like what they're doing with Green Lantern, and it makes sense that they're ramping up the things with Green Lantern with the series on the way. So it's just a good time to be a Green Lantern fan.
Yeah. And to that point, with the series on the way, I think it was really smart that they, at this point, like reading this issue, they're essentially kind of giving you like those Cliff Notes versions of Hal's and Kyle's origins, because a lot of what this, I mean, in a couple of pages that we have showing, like you can see where Kyle gets chosen to be the Green Lantern, and he goes off does his thing, and then you later in the book it tells Hal's origins where he gets chosen, right? I think it's really cool that they're doing that. I've always liked the Green Lanterns. John's always been my favorite. It it's always cool, but like you said, it's always cool to kind of see everyone else get their shine. Like I'm gonna admit here in front of everybody that like Hal Jordan isn't my favorite, because I think Kyle, he really ultimately embodies what it is to be a Green Lantern at its core, right? And like at other instances, John, he embodies what it really means to be like this architect, this master builder, if you will, right? To where he's able to use his ring in such a way that like just on a level that makes no sense. But then the way that Kyle uses his ring, because he's an artist, the things that he's able to create, right? Whereas John typically leans towards structures. Hal typically leans towards like military planes, missiles, guns, cannons. He's creating all these wild things like snakes and things like that, like really more imaginative with the ring. And later in the book, they give Kyle his flowers, like as being like the guy when everything went dark, essentially for the Lanterns, of like being that light and like being able to carry that on. They're like, yeah, like Hal's one of the greats, sure. John's one of the greats, sure. But like Kyle, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, right? Like that's the type of like accolades he's getting, and he's getting those flowers, and I think that's really good. Again, to be able to, like you said, Kyle comes back to Earth, he's got to resettle in, he's got to figure this all out. But they're still able to give him that love and be like, man, like there's a lot of Green Lanterns out there that would not be here if you weren't able to be that light and bring us all back.
Yep. He's that dude,
pretty,
man.
It's a good book.
He saved them
That's pretty
countless
crazy,
times.
man. That's awesome though. I love that we're able to experience so many different sides of what it means to be a Green Lantern. More so than anything else, right? Like there's so many different characters. They're able to explore them in so many different ways. And it really understands. And I guess it's really cool because obviously there is one center theme around the Green Lanterns. You know what I mean? Like because of what that all stands for. But there are so many different layers of of each of those things, right? color is a spectrum, quite literally, right? So
Yeah.
you really are able to kind of see what that looks like in so many different ways. And I really like just looking at this right here that they kind of went with. It looks like they went with the thing where all Green Lanterns aren't wearing the same exact Green Lantern suit, which
Yeah.
I
Right.
think is the best way to kind of explore that, because it lets you know again that they are not all the exact same, right? Because
Yeah.
they're not.
Mhm.
Like, it's not like there's just a one trick pony of Green Lanterns. Like, no, like there's a lot of different shades of green, if you would. If you want to go with that. But it's just very interesting to see that. And like it's already been said, the fact that we were just talking about how Marvel is doing this with their issues, and then we come to DC doing it with their issues, to where, hey guys, here's this comic about Kyle Ray, about all these characters, and most of these characters are also rumored to be in this show that you might have heard about, so hey,
Hint,
you
hint,
might want
wink,
to check
wink.
it out, and you know what I mean, wink wink, nudge nudge.
Mhm.
And then when you read the thing, and it's literally saying Hal is on a journey, basically looking for doing this mysterious mission, looking for a specific person who is in this specific city on Earth that they're not usually in. It's like, it's like literally kind of the same story mirrored in a way. So
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
definitely interested in seeing where I haven't checked the story out, so I will, and I want to really see where this goes. And then I got my issue right here.
That's so dope.
Um, of Kyle on the
That would be
Oh,
the
porch, and
one.
nice.
That's the one
I
right there.
had to grab this one, because it has like the gold green foil thing going on, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's just
that's the one.
fire, man.
And
Yeah, that's just fire. So.
Kyle's uniform is like my favorite.
His
All of them.
uniform is
He does.
crazy,
I
bro.
love that,
His
man.
uniform is crazy.
I love
He's
it,
got
man.
he's got one of the best uniforms. I
Easily.
never
really
liked
was
his
not ready.
mask, but like the
But this,
fit,
that,
he's always had that.
yeah,
Like that's a
Bro got
white
that
with
thing.
the
He
belt
got
going
that
across
ish
here,
on, as
man.
they say. Yeah, the belt is crazy with the
That's so
lantern
dope. It's
painted at,
crazy dope,
like, yeah,
man.
bro.
Mhm.
He's flexing pretty hard on us. And the white trim going through it is also
Yeah,
insane. Like
that's
that
fire.
white trim is insane. Like, he's giving Ben 10,000, and I am so down for that. Oh man. All right. What's up next? Let's keep it going. Yo, here are some of
Woo!
our other recommendations. We got Lobo #1. We got from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Take the main man to the next level. The main man's back, baby, and his ride is a motorcycle that moves at the speed of sound, but only if that sound is a ripping guitar solo. I feel like I have read this thing 1,000 times for some reason. And you better hop on before he leaves you in the dust with all the bass stitches he's fragged for money or convenience. The Eisner nominated creative team that brought you a fantastic parable of adolescence in the Midwest, the story of an artist who embraces darkness a little too closely, and the tale of a gunslinger with too much grit to stay buried, brings you a classic yarn spun in the star-kissed threads of the cosmic DC universe. They was really trying to hit that word count on this thing, wasn't they? It's a it's a gut-soaked path from DCKO to the end of the universe, where Lobo is going to scratch his name and number in the source wall with a cool knife. Don't miss the mayhem with special guests or tasty continuity. Don't you
It is a
do
cool
it.
knife. It's a cool knife. Yeah, I gotta admit that. Look, man, it's Lobo. It's Lobo, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like
Lobo.
Big
this,
Lobo.
it's Big Lobo, not the little one, right? And then
Yeah.
for him to jump in, for them to bring him in at this point, bring him back in rather at this point in the game, I think it's perfect. Perfect timing again, how we've been talking about with how we got characters on the way with the Supergirl film coming, and we know he's
Mhm.
in it. You know what I mean? Like none
Mm-hmm.
of this is just
Yeah.
coincidental, right? So,
Exactly.
and it's
And they
Lobo
tell a
as
little
you
bit of
want
his
to see him.
origins in that book too. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's exactly how you want to see him, man. Just like hardcore,
Mm.
gunslinging, drink throwing back, just no nonsense, no BS. I'm here. Who wants some? You? I hope you got your affairs in order, because it's probably your
Yeah.
last day on this planet. It's like that. And so And that's what we want from Lobo, right? It's just come in,
Yeah.
rip things up, get out.
That's
Mm.
a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I want some more Lobo. I think the cover is awesome. The cover that they did. I mean, DC's art, literally every single cover that I bought a lot more DC comics lately, just because the art is amazing. And I'm a sucker for art. What's up with it, Low Man?
What up, Lil Man?
I am a sucker for art. So, like it goes like in the art for. I think also that Lobo has one of the coolest designs as a character as
Yes.
well, right?
Yes,
He has
dude.
a very cool design, and I love that. I would love to see a Wolverine Lobo crossover or something like that. I think that would be cool. Just because we're in the we're kind of talking about the DC Marvel crossover stuff as well. I
They
think
kind
that
of
would be
combined them.
unique.
They
Yeah,
combined
yeah.
them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they combined them into like one whole character.
Who?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was kind of
What?
craus Yeah.
What? Give
Yeah,
us more info,
it's part
BZ.
of
Don't leave us hanging.
it's part of the like what we talked about earlier with the Deadpool Batman crossover. They did it with several characters, and so it came in on the last page reveal, I believe. But it came
What?
in, yeah. He had it's like God,
In
what's his
Batman
name?
Deadpool?
God, what is his name? He has a name. It's like
I
a
think I
combination of
have
both of
that
their names.
issue.
It's like a combination of both of their names. I can't remember. It's escaping me. But yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's a Lobo Wolverine crossover character. It's nuts. It's nuts.
Loberine? That's crazy. Yo, I'm not ready for Lobo.
I can't remember. It's escaping me right now. I'll find it.
Yo, that's crazy.
I'll find it. But yeah, it's nuts, man. So, but those are like the two characters they liken each other, right? They kind of liken each other, even with their design.
Yeah.
Even with
Very
their
similar.
design, they really are similar to each other. So it's cool that those two come together.
That's crazy, dude. I think I have the Batman Deadpool issue, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out, dude. I had no idea that happened. Amazing. Next up is Deathstroke, the Terminator #1, the world's deadliest assassin, hits the next level with Tony Fleeks and Carmine Di Gian Domenico. Soldier turned superhuman assassin for hire, Slade Wilson has made hundreds of enemies in his day, and now one of them is taking his world apart piece by piece. The hit is out on Deathstroke as he evolves into his purest form, a Terminator out for revenge and ready to kill anyone who stands in his way. Prepare for brutal violence with over-the-top action and intrigue from the twisted mind of writer Tony Fleeks from Stray Dogs and Uncanny Valley, with pulse-pounding art by Carmine Dijon Domenico from The Flash, and for DC's contract-killing boogeyman is back and bloodier than ever.
Let's go.
DJ, talk
Slade
to us. Oh, somebody talk to us.
Wilson, dog. Oh, by the way, going back real quick. Logo is his name. Wolverine.
Logo. Yes.
Now,
yeah. Because it's
now
Logan and Lobo.
on to big dog Slade over here. Slade, man,
Mhm.
he's had it rough in the DCU these last few years. Man,
I think we've talked about that a couple
He's been
times.
up, he's been down. He's been taking possession during the Dark Crisis event. He got taken over. He was possessed by like some crazy stuff, man. So he's been on like a weird screw everybody type thing where he tried to come back and get the Titans and really mess with them. He had a lot of stuff happening, man. So to see him kind of like in his element again right here, like it makes me happy. I love Deathstroke, man. Slade Wilson is kind of one of my dark horse like favorite DC characters out here, man. He's so dope.
Yeah.
He is so
everything
dope.
about him is amazing.
And his life is so complicated between his kids and his ex-wife. Like everything is just crazy. And just to see him get back into the assassin, the bounty hunter type scenario, man, this right here, it's a great return to what Deathstroke is and has always been. So again, with the jumping on point, if you rock with Deathstroke, here is your chance to jump in at the beginning.
Talk to us, DJ.
Thanks. I read this one. I like the art. I he, he's such an interesting character. I really enjoyed the art. I really enjoyed seeing him kind of go on that rampage. It's a good one. As far as like the story, like I mean the description really like it sets you up really well, right? Like if this is something, if it's up your alley, right? If you want to see kind of that gruesome, bloody action, like it's in there, and like it's a whole new um season, right, for DC Comics,
Yeah,
right? It was the All In, and now their
that's a good way
Next
to put
Level
it.
is the new subtitle for it. So I think we're in for a treat with all these new number ones that are coming out, and kind of these new jumping off points with all the books.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Good point. I agree. Um, I agree with that, man. That's a good sentiment. And I know that the DC stuff is going crazy right now. All the DC this is the jumping on point for sure. I know that is the terms that I've just been hearing across the board for all of them. New stories, new lines are all happening across the board for all characters. Like it's not just for one of them. It's like no, this is a jumping on point for DC. Period. If you ain't been reading DC and you're interested in it, jump on right now.
This is your time. A new season is like the perfect way to put that. That's excellent right there. That was excellent. That's a great way to put it.
Season 2.
Man, I tell you.
Season 89, really.
Facts. Facts.
Let's talk about the Century number. Also that
Nice.
Deathstroke cover, man.
Ooh,
I'm telling you, the
I'm
DC covers are freaking insane, bro.
a
They're
sucker for the hollow
insane,
covers,
man.
bro. The hollow covers,
Yeah.
I'm in there. I will pay that $9.99. Let's go. Drop it on me. I'll pay that $9.99.
This is crazy, brother. This is crazy.
Century,
All
new
right.
number one. We just saw
Yeah,
him in Thunderbolts, and now he's got a new number one issue.
Come on now.
He's been an Avenger, a Dark Avenger, and a Thunderbolt. The Sentry is back, but so is the Void. From the creator Paul Jenkins comes a bold, high-stakes epic about Marvel's most dangerous hero, the Sentry, a man with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, and the dark entity born from his own psyche, the Void. When the Void resurfaces, threatening to unravel reality itself, the Sentry must battle not only cosmic forces and criminal empires, but the monster within. Guest starring Reed Richards, Spider-Man, and the Kingpin in a tale of impossible choices and devastating consequences. Can the Sentry save everything when the cost might be everything he loves?
Yo, it's so good to see Sentry again. And it's funny with some of the characters that are included in this particular issue, Kingpin being one. But the last time we saw Kingpin was involved there too. With the Devil's Reign storyline, but he had like sent out his own group of Thunderbolts to hunt down Sentry's body because it was cut in half. The Sentry was not alive. Sentry has been dead a few times, and we're back again. And they've done a lot of crazy stuff with the Sentry character, because following that, Sentry's powers were split from his body into like sticks. All of his powers were split into an individual set of power, right? And several individuals got those powers, like around the world.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was reminiscent of the Speed Force Storm storyline in Flash.
oh,
Where
okay,
everybody
okay.
became a speedster, and there was one who was
Yeah.
down and killing them all like Godspeed. That's what they
Yeah.
did with the Sentry.
That's
character.
cool, actually. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
So they had like 6 or 7 people get a specific power of Sentry, and then one of them realized, if I kill you, I get that power too, and I will be the Sentry. And they ended with 2 Sentries, which was okay, sure. Yeah, it was kind of weird, man. It was nuts.
That's
It was a good
crazy.
story, but it was just like, all right, I don't know how we're gonna go forward with that, but all right, cool, 2 Sentries, whatever. But they're bringing the big dog back here, and it's fun. It's funny because Marvel specifically, they'll go off and they'll try these new things, and they're like, yeah, okay. but then they always come back, right? They always come back. Like we did it with Spider-Man
Mm.
One More Day. Like we got rid of Peter and Mary Jane to save Aunt May, right? So no more. The marriage doesn't exist, and they don't like each other, and the history has changed, and it pissed off all the fans, and people regard it as like one of the worst Spider-Man stories ever. And what do they do? Like 10 years later, they walk it right back. This was a deal made with Mephisto, right? Like, dog, like
Yep.
there's no reneging on Mephisto. And what did they
Yeah.
do? They literally reneged on Mephisto and brought Peter and MJ back together. So that's like a thing Marvel does, man. Secret Wars was supposed to like get rid of the multiverse and bring everybody together on one Earth. What are we doing? They
Yep.
undid all of that. So it's just like a kind of another thing they do. But Marvel's kind of like their own little pattern. They're like, all right, it's been a little while, right? Think everybody forgot. Okay, cool. Let's bring Sentry back since we got him on screen now. So, this was only honestly, if we follow the timeline of events of how we always point out movie influencing comics, vice versa, it was only a matter of time before this issue happened. And it's kind of funny that it didn't happen prior to the Thunderbolts movie. But again, it's here now. We got other stuff coming that Sentry will be a part of. So this makes sense as well. So, but a lot of
Yeah.
people like Sentry because of what he is. He is like one of the most powerful characters in Marvel, the most dangerous because of the split personalities.
Yep.
And it's he's dangerous. He's straight up dangerous. And so it's a very interesting character to kind of put a focus on. And I hope people really jump into this Sentry this time because people get granted a little bit of interest with him being on screen now, but prior to that, there wasn't a lot of people really messing with Sentry. So I really hope people jump into and kind of get on the Robert Reynolds train this time.
Okay. DJ, how you feeling
Yep.
about this issue?
I I haven't actually I haven't read all of it. I skimmed through it really quickly. There is a really interesting moment in there with him and Kingpin that I thought was kind of funny. But he's like B said, he's one of those characters where he's around, but then he isn't, and he's around and he isn't, because he's one of the most powerful characters there is, right? Like so, like he's a walking nuke. Like so, like
Yeah.
as soon as you get him
Yeah.
involved, like you automatically raise the bar, right? Like it's like that whole Avengers level threat, right? Like why, once you got the Avengers involved, like how do you really go back to just being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right?
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see how they to steal a line from The Rock, how the hierarchy of power changes in the Marvel universe now that he's kind of really back in the fray, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Got that variant
I
cover.
like that.
My guy with freaking Galactus's helmet, just like it's nothing. Just
Yeah,
He's that
crazy.
dude, man. Like you said, a walking
That's,
nuke, dog. Like he's so OP they have to keep him out.
Yeah.
They have to keep him out because he's so OP, man. It was, I mean, before he died, he was kind of secluded on like a top of a mountain, sitting in his living room watching TV, and Doctor Strange ran up on him and like, "Hey, man, we need you." He was like, "No, you don't. You don't need me, dog. I'm the last person." And he's like,
yeah,
"You know who I am, right?" And Strange is like, "Yeah, we need you." And so like he's that powerful, dog. Like they got to put this man on the couch, and
yeah,
he's so afraid of
In his
himself.
footy pajamas.
And his footies, right? He's so afraid of himself,
that's,
and that's why his depiction on screen I thought was fantastic because that's kind of what he is. Like
Yeah.
he's so powerful himself, but so is the Void, and he's afraid of himself. And so,
yep,
like, you can't have one without the other. If he's there, then Void is right there too. And I really like how they've established that with him on screen because that was super important to get out there. Like, bro, like, yeah, I can do a lot of cool stuff, but like, y'all don't really want me out here. Y'all don't really want me out here like that. Y'all need to be inside, not outside.
Nah, that's solid. I'm gonna have to check that issue out for sure. And then we also have Justice League Unlimited number 17. supervillains on the JLU. In the aftermath of DC.K.O., the Justice League has to work even harder to protect mankind. And that means it's time for new blood to face new challenges. Who will join Wonder Woman and Batman to lead the new JLU?
Dog, everything that's going post DCKO is just worth the read. Everybody's powered up because they're still feeding. They all are now imbued with Omega energy that they gained during the tournament. It didn't go away. It didn't go away. So everybody who won a match has Omega energy within them, and they're teaming with it. They're all supercharged now, and they're all having a new set of issues that come with that. And so it's really cool that they're continuing that. And like I think again, just to jump back a little bit with Green Lanterns, Guy Gardner, he's supercharged now with Omega energy, and he's able to actually see the emotional spectrum. The entities that make up each color on the spectrum, they're represented by an entity, almost like a godlike creature, and he can see them now. He can see them. So it's like this kind of, it's really cool that they're continuing the little threads with the KO stuff. So again, a really good jumping on point. And I mean, you see all their characters on the cover right here, man. Like, you know, who are you picking out of that to join the Justice League?
That's crazy. Freaking Lobo, Manhunt, Lobo, Lex Luthor, Harley Quinn. Like, what are they doing there? Like, how did they get?
And most of them had a couple W's in DCKO, and Luthor made it to the end. You know what I mean? So,
dang, that's crazy.
Not to mention Aquaman. Like I think they completely retitled his book. Like it's like Emperor Aquaman now. Like that's how.
It is Emperor Aquaman.
Like it's so. Like
and
you
he's
said,
like going
right?
to
like,
space or something now, isn't he? Like he's
doing
on
a
whole nother. Yeah, he's like
time traveling and some more stuff.
Yeah.
He out here, right? So like I just think it's cool. Like I haven't read this particular issue yet, but it's at the top of my reading list. Just because I really did enjoy the KO event, and BZ, like you said, like to have them continue with those threads. Sometimes, I mean, not every time, but often when they do these big events, they kind of go, okay, that's over with. Here, like, let's continue with what we were doing anyways, right? But like they're actually being able to kind of pull some of that stuff in there and keep going with that, and like having to really deal with what just happened on a level that, in my opinion, I haven't seen recently when it comes to those events. Like, I mean, you'll have those moments where like, oh, this happened in such and such crisis, like in a little throwaway thing, but like it's actually like, you know, with those new jumping in points that you said, right? Is like, this is, if you didn't read it, like low key, it's a new jumping in point, sure, but if you didn't read it, you might like you're missing out.
They like you said, like they tend to just kind of move on from it. Just like, all right, well, it happened. Like they don't forget about the history, but they don't talk about it either. And so they're just like, all right, cool, next. And that's with here, like we just said, man, like they're keeping it going. And that was something, even though Blood Hunt upset me. We talked about this on the first episode. Even though Blood Hunt upset me, they did keep a lot of those threads going, especially with Miles Morales and his vampirism and vampires being able to walk in the daylight now. Like that's still a thing in the Marvel comic universe right now. So those things, we as readers, we appreciate that kind of stuff because there has to be some kind of fallout. Like there has to be some kind of fallout. You can't just be like, all right, we just had a whole world shaking event and we changed the fabric of everything. And all right, we're just gonna act like it never happened. Going back to one more day, we just changed everything that you know about Spider-Man and his in his love life to bring back Aunt May. Now Aunt May's alive, everything's cool. The marriage never happened, and then here we are again, and now they're living together and they're shacking up. So, oh, all right. So one more day happened for no reason. Is what we're saying. All right, Secret Wars happen for no reason. All right, that's cool. All right, sure, guys. So, shout out to the creative teams at DC.
Yeah, for actually sticking to their guns.
Sticking to their guns.
We're actually sticking to their guns. Facts.
All right, let's talk about the last comic we have here, and that is Iron Man #3, Iron Man versus MODOK. And date night? During an epic battle with MODOK, Iron Man learns the truth about AIM and Madame Mask, leaving him with more questions than answers. But before he can investigate, he has a first date with his new lady love to deal with. Meanwhile, the new Citizen V is watching and comes to Tony with a warning. But who is under the mask? Legacy number 683.
Shout out to DJ for hitting us with the first issue and telling us what we need to know about the first issue, because I jumped right into this. And I was like, oh my goodness, yo, this is nuts. This is nuts. Yeah. And issue 2 was even nuttier. And like he was working side by side with Cap, and Cap was like, yeah, bro, we're gonna have to do something about Tony, dog. So y'all be on standby, because Tony out here wild. He doing exactly what we thought we were gonna do, y'all. And Tony just, Tony being Tony.
New Illuminati.
Yeah. And Tony being Tony, he just like, nah, it's cool, man. I got it. Y'all ain't gotta worry about nothing. But sorry, I kind of messed a lot of stuff up. My bad, but don't worry about it. And it's like, no, we probably should worry about this, because we got a lot of geniuses out here that have been snatched up. And AIM is doing some stuff. No, and then Tony being Tony again, and Madame Mask. How do we put this? Tony's a playboy. Okay. Tony, Madame Mask. I'm gonna let y'all do the math on that. So this is that, right? This is where this all kind of comes from. So yeah, Tony wildin', and it's funny because there's it's in issue 2 there's a line Cap says, so you're telling me this all is because you couldn't keep it in your pants? And the answer is, well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but if there was anybody to risk it for, Madame Mask isn't a bad person to risk it for. If we just go put it out there. Yeah.
Crazy work. That's
crazy. But yeah, shout out DJ, man, because this Iron Man run 3 issues in, it's 3 for 3 right now. It's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read the first one. I have the second one and third one. I haven't broke them open yet, but there's been just such a big backlog of stuff, because I mean, there's just been heat after heat after heat.
Yeah.
So many good books have been coming out. So it's definitely on my reading log to check out. I'm glad that they're 3 for 3. So I will for sure be cracking that open and reading those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like when you say, yo, the Illuminati pulls up, I was like, oh wait. We haven't seen those guys in a while, and like,
yeah,
they were there. They were there. They're like, yeah, so we're gonna have to talk, y'all. So yeah. The Illuminati, they only come if there's some world ending crazy stuff happening, right? They're not just meeting just because. Like, nah.
Not just normal Marvel everyday world ending stuff, but like legit, like, hey, we got
to do
bro.
something. Like, we're gonna have to. We might have to go get Tony, y'all. We might have to go get Tony.
That's kind of crazy. Okay.
It's wild.
Okay. It sounds like there really is heat after heat after heat in the comic section, y'all. So let us know which one of these issues that we talked about in this portion, really tickled your fancy, for lack of better words. What was the one that was really on your list? What's the one that you really enjoyed? Let us know in the comment section down below. I'm always gonna take the time to shout out Ignition Press, man. They got a ton of comics coming out. They're doing the thing. Another new comic just came out called the other something. I don't know what it's called. It's the other something. New issue of Ripcord came out. Just some new issues across the board. Oh, I forgot. I also got these issues. Wait, hold on. I wanted to show off some of these ones, because I did like the way that they was working. Yeah, for sure, these two.
Oh, guys, comic collection is just absolutely growing now. That's crazy.
That Harley Quinn issue.
Yeah, man, I like that.
And she's in like the Bat Quinn thing or whatever. I don't know what the hell it is. And then had to grab that Flash issue 2 with the golden because it's just so saucy, bro. It's just so saucy, man.
Yeah,
These
that
are
right
so
there.
they're just
Flash
insane.
on the gold. Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with
Yeah,
that.
bro. Yeah, the comics are crazy. Oh, you know that Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Just some dope issues, man. Some dope issues. Some dope
Was
issues.
that the absolute woman,
Oh,
Wonder Woman?
yeah. Big Silver Surfer.
That's
You feel me?
hard. That right there.
Yes,
That
sir.
man. When they incorporate the
That's a
character,
nice one.
that's it right there, man. That's
So
beautiful.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I got a backlog myself to check out, but I'm right there. I'm right there with it. So we gonna check it out real soon. We gonna check it out real soon.
Heck yeah, man.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our comic section. Let's get into the next section that we have tonight, and that is obviously anime, baby. First up and foremost, we got Devil May Cry, only on Netflix, season 2, coming soon. In this animated adaptation of the popular Capcom game and vision of Adi Shankar, sinister forces are at play to open the portal between the human and demon realms. In the middle of it all is Dante, an orphan demon hunter for hire, unaware that the fate of both worlds hangs around his neck. The new season is set to premiere on May 12th, the day after my birthday. Let's go. Same day as the finale of Daredevil Born Again and the premiere of the Punisher special, actually. So that's going to be a
Ooh, I
freaking
forgot
crazy
about
day.
that Punisher special.
What
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going
What
to
a
be
day. That
insane.
week is wild.
Yeah, that week is
That's
insanity,
crazy.
brother.
That's a wild week, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I have not checked out the first season of this, but
Brother,
I
you
need
need
to.
to.
Yeah, for real, for real.
My brother,
Man, I
you
haven't
need to watch
either, but like
DMC, baby. It's a banger. It's a
It's peak.
banger,
everything I see
bro.
about it though, like it looks good. It looks
It's
good.
so good, bro. So good, man. It's fire, and more fire. It's really good, man. It's
Okay.
exactly what you like. If you're a fan of the franchise, who plays any of the games, man, they do it justice. They do it justice. They really do. They really do. So season
Ooh.
2 coming, and about 6 weeks. Yeah, for sure, for sure. This
All
is
right, let's.
yeah. I got time to catch up on it. It'll be some for definitely maybe do some watch parties on it, man. It's
Yeah, I
fire.
might. Let's
It's
check
fire.
out this trailer. Let's see if you guys get to watch it. We don't know, but we gonna be able to watch it together. So you'll know on the
Twin Pistols, Ebony
what?
and Ivory, baby.
That was insane.
Ebony and Ivory, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was insane. That went undeniably hard right there. I don't know. Yeah. Bro was like, "Hey, look at this." And that was
Getting that.
dope. I love this. This was one of the first games I remember playing maybe on like the PS2. Like when I
Yeah.
had first bought a PS2, like when I first got a PS2, I should say. Um, I remember playing Kingdom Hearts, Devil May Cry, and then Full Metal Alchemist at the time had like a video game that had just came out, and that was pretty cool too. So yeah, man, it looks like they're going pretty hard with this show. I didn't know it was going this hard, so I'm definitely got to put this on the list, dude.
Yeah, season 2 is going to focus on him finding his brother. Well, him against his brother, because season 1, he didn't know his brother was still, alive.
Alive.
Then he found out he was alive, and he's actually one of the enemies.
Mhm.
So season 2 is going to focus on
Mm.
brother versus brother type thing. So it's going down. His brother is just as formidable as he is. So yeah, the twin pistol
Oh,
pulling up is
okay.
going to be necessary.
Yeah, I
Okay,
will
okay.
say, like everything I keep seeing about it, like I see clips on TikTok, I see clips on
Mm.
the Twitter, X, whatever. And then the this teaser, and then there was another one when I was doing research for the show. I didn't put it in there, but I put the visuals in there. And like the brother says this line, and he is something along the lines of like, if it had been you, or if it had been me instead of you, like, like would it, like, essentially, like, would the situations be reversed? Like, like he kind of alluding to like a lot of how different his life would be, but similar, right? Like he'd essentially be on the other side of things.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cold right there. So like,
Yeah,
I
it's
I
cold,
definitely
man.
want to check it out at some point. Why not? I got to make room for it and everything.
Netflix been cooking with their distribution discography when it comes to all of these animes and stuff as well. So
Facts. They've been sneaking
Mhm.
stuff out. I didn't know they had dropped the next season of Tomb Raider. I was like, oh dang, I had to
yeah, that was a
catch up
sneak.
on
Yeah,
that.
I never
I didn't
even
even get a
saw a
Oh,
notification.
I
trailer
need
for
to
that.
catch
I
that.
feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I never heard anything about
I
that
ain't get it.
ever.
Normally, because I got I got notifications from Netflix, and they tell me when
Yeah.
especially stuff on my list, my watch list that I
Yeah.
curated, especially when when it says new episodes. They didn't even tell me. I was just looking through it, and I was like, hold on. When I
You
went to go
should
watch
shadow
JoJo's
drop and
last
stuff.
week, I went to watch the first episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Steel Ball Run, and I'm like, hold on, who was that? No way. And I click, I was like, who's this black guy on Tomb Raider cover, the thumbnail? What's going on here? I'm like, yo,
What a
telling
way
me
to
they dropped a
transition,
whole
Mike
other
Beasy.
season? Oh my goodness.
Shout out to my guy Beasy for the amazing transition here. But next up, we got Steel Ball Run.
Yeah.
I don't
Tell
think
us
he meant
about
to do
this.
it, but
This is I tell you, JoJo is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Like,
Not
it's
even
just
yeah,
close, brother.
so, like,
You are so on point.
Bizarre Adventure is the most accurate title that I could see, because like
it is very
what is this?
bizarre. This is the first stage of the Steel Ball Run for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. First stage, episode 1 is 47 minutes, and it's now available on Netflix. Steel Ball Run is set in the 19th century United States and follows Johnny Joestar, a former jockey who lost the use of his legs in a freak accident. What? After forming an alliance with mysterious outlaw Gyro Zappelli, the two embark on a grueling cross-continental horse race for a $50 million grand prize. You can watch 5 seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, including Stone Ocean, Golden Wind, Diamond is Unbreakable, Stardust Crusaders, and Phantom Blood Battle Tendency. Stream them now.
Yeah, so like DJ said, that is the most appropriate title for an anime if there ever was one. Because it's
Yeah, what the
literally
hell is
just
going on?
weird adventures that you are a part of. So each season represents a different like generation of the Joestar, right? So they're all like variants of
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
character. Okay, so each one is a different person, but Joestar is going to always be in the name. So JoJo, and their first name is going to start with a J. So that's where Joe and Joe comes in. First name is J.O. something, last name Joestar. And they're always part of some kind of weird weird adventure here. So the freak accident not really was an accident at all. He kind of deserved what he got there, and he lost the use of his legs. But as you see, it's a horse race, so it's like, well, how's he riding a horse without the use of his legs? Well, you got to watch that episode to find it out. But the fact that they give you 47 minutes as an episode 1 and 2 weeks to digest it, because there wasn't an episode this week. Episode 2 is next week. Yeah, so they give you 2 weeks to digest the first episode, which kind of pissed me off because the first episode is so freaking good. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and I mean, that's another one where they kind of hit the ground running. They don't really like spend too much time kind of giving you like background information. Like, you meet who your characters are, and it sets up as of course it's called JoJo, but like as of right now, like the main character is Gyro Zappella. So right, and then this steel ball is like it's what it is, but it has a power to it. And so Johnny's trying to figure out what that power. He don't even care about the race for real. He's only doing a race to try to figure out the steel ball. So that's where we are with that. So, and like I said, it's only
So
one.
the Joes is a lineage, then, yeah. Like
Yeah,
it's it's the
yeah,
lineage of. Okay.
and they all have a star somewhere on their person to represent that of who they are. See, he got you see it's on his little bandana there, all the stars there. So there's always a star on their person somewhere to kind of represent them being of the Joestar name. And
Okay.
but yeah, it is, as you said, weird. There's no other way to describe it other than bizarre. And I know you guys have kind of been seeing, I know you guys have seen some clips online where it's like people are going back and watching it now because it's got popular again, and they catch the very
Yeah.
end where they watch the outro video and it's Jodeci freaking you playing, and they're like, oh no, am I tripping? It's like, no. Like, that's legit. That's legit. The outro for that part of the season was Jodeci freaking you. You watch all this crazy stuff happen for 30 freaking minutes, and then like someone just died. Someone just died in the most extravagant way. And then it says to be continued. And then here they come with Jodeci freaking you on the back end. You're like, oh, okay.
That's
all right.
crazy diabolical. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's see if we get to keep this trailer in.
It was the summer of 1890. I was drawn to the shores of the West.
Welcome to the first ever Steel Ball Run. This epic trek will be the first ever to have its participants cross North America while on horseback.
So all of my life, horses have been by my side.
The guy, he earned that.
Take it and see what happens next.
That ball he threw was spinning fast.
I need to see it again. Hand it over. No, still spinning, damn it.
My legs just then I was standing.
I will ride a horse again.
Fascinating. Not only the balls, but their wielder too. Yeah.
It's called technique, you troglodytes. I see how this will unfold. I will cross the continent using only the legs I was born with. To get that prize money, I'll beat them at their home gate.
I knew it. Just look about it, taking me all the way. Here I go. No matter how the days ahead may unfold, the Steel Ball Run will be a race the likes of which the world has never laid eyes upon.
Amazing! Look at this sea of faces!
Whoever does win this race will be a shield to the whole world.
Now we're at the finish, so let loose! Our victor will receive a peerless prize, $50 million!
Victory hinges on a single truth. The strongest legs prevail! Keep swerving and see where it gets you.
But who beat Gyro Stephanie at his own game? It's me, Johnny Joestar!
Okay.
It is as intense as it looked in that trailer. Just to let you know. Like, there's a guy who's doing the horse race and he's running barefoot.
Yeah, that's insane.
Just wild.
He's running the entire race barefoot against horses.
It reminds me of those like when they always have those episodes in certain movies where there's like everyone has a car and they're all racing and they're just like up to shenanigans as they're doing the race. Like not just like the speed racer thing, but like when they're going cross country and it's like Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes and they're all going up against each other as they're driving across country.
Yeah.
It gave me that type of vibe. But just anime horses and JoJo. And then I know JoJo Bizarre Adventure also kind of went crazy over the, all the standing and stuff and how everyone just aura farms as they stand there, like looking over their shoulder, holding some impossible pose or something like that.
It's ridiculous, but it's hilarious, and that's what makes it what it is, man. It's insane, dude.
Yeah, that looks wild. I'll probably be checking that out.
Oh, dude. Oh, yes.
Next up is Sekiro no Defeat. I believe this is our final anime that we have to check out here. The time is Sengoku. Japan is fractured into many independent nations, entangled in ceaseless war. At the center lies Ashina, a land of sacred earth and ancient mystery. 2 decades after Sword Saint Ishin, Ashina reclaimed the region in a brutal coup, a new threat emerges from within. The Interior Ministry. Desperate to protect his homeland, Ishin's grandson, Jinichiro, turns to forbidden powers. The only hope lies in the kidnapped boy, the divine heir, and his silent protector, a loyal shinobi only known as Sekiro. This is the story of a lord and his retainer and their quest to restore balance to a nation on the edge. Okay. Talk to me. Who know about this?
We got
Anybody know about what we got going on
It's
here?
based
Yeah.
off the game,
Yep.
which the games are really good. I've played them a little
Mhm.
bit. They're, I mean, sword style action games. You're fighting giant bosses, and it's a really good game. When they announced this anime, it definitely piqued my interest of something I'd want to check out.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like there hasn't been a lot of information about it just yet. Really. But they're trickling it out slowly. They're trickling it out slowly.
And that's crazy, right? You would think something of this magnitude, because it won Game of the Year. It won Game of the Year. Something of this
Yeah.
magnitude, you think there would be a little bit more out there for us to grasp, right? But like you said, like they're really doing a good job of kind of like holding a lot of this stuff close to the vest. So it's really driving the anticipation because my antenna are up and I'm ready for
Yeah.
this. I'm ready for this for sure.
And I don't know, maybe this part of that though is like I don't know if maybe that is just because like it it's like the core of it of the work being done is in Japan, right? And like there's just not that
Yeah.
like media frenzy like in the US, right? Like we're used to getting stuff constantly, right, in the US. And especially with American companies or anything like that, or even like UK companies where like it's that the freedom of press or access to the press is more free flowing, right? That information is more
Yeah.
free flowing.
Good point.
That's not to say that like other companies don't, but I think like if you think about like a company like Sony has this huge, massive like U.S. interest, we typically get more information out of companies like that or connected to Sony or anything like that, or animes that have like a really big U.S. Foothold already, like My Heroes and things like that, or JJK, right? That just had the season finale. What was it, yesterday? I think, or
Yeah,
was it
yesterday.
today?
It was
Yesterday,
yesterday.
yeah. Yeah, that just had the season finale. Like that, next one's not going to come till January of 27,
January,
right?
dog.
Like
Yeah, the end of
it's going to be a
January.
minute, but we've gotten
Dang.
a ton of information about that one already, though. Like, but
Facts.
that's really really popular already. So I think part of why we haven't gotten a lot of information is just because it's in, even though we run Game of the Year, great game, really popular games. Like there's just this almost small Japanese studio working on it, just doing the work, like heads down doing the work until they'll deliver it when they're ready, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Let's see if they're gonna let us watch this one.
そなた一人か。
腕ある忍びとお見受けした。まだ死ぬ定めではないと見え。我光に付き従う影。この国に明日があるとは限らぬぞ。
我らが争わぬ道はないのでしょうか。
主は絶対悠長として守る。
頼んだぞ、狼。
寂しいやつ。石腕の狼。赤炉よ。貴様、何故戦う。
死を厭わぬのですか。
なすべきことなす。
楽しんでおくせかれどまだ苦労のせがれよ。
狼。共に来るか。
その力を与えられた者は死してなおよみがえ
さ
る。
らばだ。
この世のすべては死人。
さらばだ。
じゃが
生きろ。
私とそなたはそこにはおらぬ。
生きろ。
流因の血を
何故死ぬ。
我が命まで求めるか。
何故生きる。
Whoa. That was freaking awesome.
Visually stunning.
Yeah, that
Visually
was
stunning.
wow. That was impressive right there. I can't lie to you. That looks really good. Can't wait to check that out. Let us know if you guys are going to be checking out Sekiro No Defeat or any of these other animes that we have talked about today. Let us know what excites you the most. If you have any worries about any of these things, just let us know how you're feeling about it in the comment section down below as we cycle through the next thing on the docket. And that is gaming. Crimson Desert. I think this game just released. I have not checked it out. I know it's
It
kind of
did just
going
release.
viral right now. People are going absolutely crazy for it. People are loving. I've heard some bad things about it, some good things about it. I guess we can dive into it after we go through it and talk about it. This is a relentless action brute with brutal combat. One of on the unforgiving battlefields of Crimson Desert, there is no single path to victory. With every strike and every move, you forge your own way. In a world where a split second can decide your fate in fast-paced, visceral battles, a vast, seamless world with countless destinies await your discovery. On the seamless open world of Pywell, may Solomon's blessing guide you on your journey across the living, breathing expanse of Pywell. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mixed reviews about this game. Like it's a massive like open world game, and like one of the biggest criticisms I've heard about it is that like it's kind of confused. Like the developers didn't have a clear vision of what they wanted the game to be. Like you have like this like master hand type thing like with what was it, Breath of the Wild, right, where you can like do this grab thing and like manipulate the environment. Like you have all these items and like all these quests, and it's open world, right? And it's this huge environment. And there's also like puzzles, and like there's a lot of different mechanics and a lot of different layers. And like the early stages of the game, from what I've seen and heard, is that like it's kind of not great. But then once you kind of get past that, those beginning stages, it really then starts to open up. Essentially, once you can start really playing in the sandbox and you've got some good abilities, then the game kind of opens up for you.
Yeah, the thing that I have heard is that the game really doesn't start until after the first 8 hours. That's kind of been the
Yeah.
consensus of it, is you have to play those first 8 hours of the game, and then that's when you really get into the actual game after that, which is crazy. But it has been the sentiment that I've
It
heard
does
kind
sound
of
crazy.
across the board.
Yeah. It's like saying you got to watch like the first 3 episodes of a show before it gets good. It's like, well, who's to say I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it through those first 3 episodes?
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
true
like,
though.
hey,
Like
yo,
that.
I know there's 14 seasons, but you got to get through the first 3 until it really starts picking up. Like, bro, no, no. Like, I don't think I'll be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Probably
don't
not.
think
For
I
sure.
will.
I see what you did there. No, yeah, it's crazy though, for real.
Man.
Like it's
Bro looks
wild
like
that
Adam
like
Driver. Am I tripping?
I can see it.
That was wild. I wasn't ready for
I can see it.
that.
Oh man.
Nah, I think it's one of those open world sandboxy games that like I mean, sure, like you get past those first 8 hours, right? You grind a little bit, you get the abilities you need to really have that like I can do anything kind of power set. Because I know like one of the biggest mechanics that they kind of did was that like you have this like cape or whatever where you can kind of like glide and so like you can essentially fly in the game, which is like
Mm-hmm.
pretty neat, right? But I think
Crazy.
it kind of
Yeah.
takes a while. Yeah, like this first picture, right? It's like they have these temples. Like that's how they teach you the mechanics, I guess, and, like how you like earn the mechanics or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then like yeah, I was watching gameplay footage, and like you do the puzzles, and like then you like literally have to like jump off the world. Like like almost like they're taking it from Assassin's Creed, leap of faith.
Oh,
You have to jump,
yeah.
and like you're just falling, like, and it's pretty wild though. It's pretty wild, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
this game is massive. It definitely looks like a one of those revolutionary pieces, kind of like how Where Winds Meet was. I don't know if you guys ever saw how that kind of took over the storm with it being kind of like this open world MMORPG that you can play solo or you can play with your friends and all this other stuff. This is
Yeah.
strictly a single player experience though. It does have this vast open world with all these different mechanics. Apparently, you're even able to ride dragons once you get further enough in the game, and there's tames and all of these different things that go on. But it's just the case of, are you going to make it to that point though? You know what I mean? Like, the
Yeah.
game has been out very long, and I don't think I have seen anyone riding a dragon yet. You know, I haven't seen any clips and stuff like that yet. So they're still grinding. That's why, you feel me? That's why we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's 'cause they're still grinding.
Still ain't
They're
seen
not
nobody
there
riding
yet.
a dragon.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It takes 8 hours to get past that learning curve, so I can only imagine what happens after that. And, you know, 8 hours isn't crazy if you're talking about a multiplayer game, right? Like, I don't think 8 hours is crazy to be like, "Hey, you're not gonna understand the mechanics fully of this multiplayer game until you got about 8 hours into it." Okay, I can understand that. You're going against other people, PvP, all that. But you're telling me a solo game that I'm playing by myself, I have to wait 8 hours for the story to catch me, for the mechanics to
Yeah.
be understood. It's like, that's a lot to ask from someone.
That is, because I think Spider-Man was only like what 20 hours to like beat the game. Like
Yeah.
8
Yeah,
hours, like
that's a good
we're
point.
talking like that's like half of a game, like most
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
single player games. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's definitely diabolical. When there's an estimated 50 to 80 hours to complete the main story for this game.
Nah,
50 to 80.
nah. Who do they think they are? Red Dead Redemption? Get out of
Fif-
here.
Yeah, 50 to 80 hours is crazy, brother. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a pretty good chunk of 50 to 80 hours, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good
Yeah,
chunk for real.
Listen, I
that's
mean, if you
insane,
got a good
honestly.
game, sure. But
Yeah.
early reviews and early criticism is that it takes 8 hours for it to even start to like really get to be
That's
like,
kind
all
of
right, I
wild.
like
That's
this
that.
game
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like,
Because at first you're
stop
like,
it.
well, yeah. Now that's kind of wild. That's wild, man. 8 hours, like, yeah.
I
They need
stopped
to shorten
playing
that to about
Sifu
half
after
that
like an
time.
hour because I kept dying. I was like, nah, no thanks.
I tell
It's
you,
just
like this same thing with Silk Song, bro. I was like, bro, I don't know if I'll make it through this thing. This thing's hard. It was, it was like I ain't even got any skills yet. I was like, this thing's hard, man. But the thing with that one is that it's entertaining and you don't have to. There's other things you can do even if you aren't at that specific like skill level yet. As not everything's not contingent upon you need to get here at this time. So, but that's the trade off. It's like it is a skill based game, but also they kind of help you get there with some of the things that you got to do with the exploring. But like, it didn't take 8 hours for it to kick up though. So, that's the other thing.
Let us know how you guys are feeling about the Crimson Desert. Do you guys like Crimson Desert if you've played it? And I believe this is also one of those AAA games to where it's the hot $70 to even play it, baby. So
Hey,
that's a lot to ask. Hot
somebody
$70,
let us
8
know.
hours before the game starts, 50 to 80 hours of like before you can even complete the story. I mean, gee.
In this
Yo,
economy,
bro, that's a
nah,
large
G.
chunk.
In
yeah,
this
man,
Like,
that's
there's no way
economy,
insane.
I'm gonna play. And I look like
Literally.
Assassin's Creed is like my favorite franchise. You telling me I got to go 8 hours until that thing kicks off? No, sir. We're not doing it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
hey,
GTA ain't even
Crimson
gonna
Desert
make you wait
is
that long. You know
Brother,
what I'm
ain't no
saying?
way.
Like,
Ain't no way.
like,
the game that
right?
you won't beat the game until GTA's out.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No, we're not doing that.
this is one of those games to where this is your only game you play.
It has to be if that's the case.
You know, so
Shoot, 8
we'll
hours,
see.
brother.
Hey,
I
Crimson
mean, I get
does
that
not
this
win a
week.
Game of the Year.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
Not at
You heard
all.
it
They'll
here
still be
first.
playing it by then.
They ain't win that.
They'll still be playing it by the time the awards roll around, man.
But moving on from gaming to something else in gaming news, we got Xbox, yo. There is we got Microsoft that is deep into development on its next generation console, Project Helix, with a partnership with AMD that has developer alpha kits planning to be shipped in 2027. It's supposed to be It's supposed to have full backward compatibility as a priority, and that's supposed to be remaining a priority, with Xbox mode coming to Windows 11, which will provide a full screen controller optimized Xbox UI on Windows devices, letting players switch between productivity and play. Honestly, they
Yeah,
kind of have something like that already in place, not gonna lie.
Xbox has been in the news. I mean, as everyone's kind of seen, right? Like we got a new
Yeah.
head of Xbox and whatnot, but people have left the company. People potentially passed over for promotions. The whole AI thing, and so like but what they've said is they want to really focus on this next console generation with Project Helix. Which, hey, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But they're also like not shying away from the fact that um, Xbox is everywhere, right? Like you download the app and like you're good to go, right? And that's where that Xbox mode, right, is coming to like Windows 11, to where it essentially puts it full screen. Like it's not just essentially it blows that app up, right? Like you got your controller and you're in the Xbox, and that's kind of goes an extension of like everything's an Xbox, right? Like that was their big marketing push a few years ago. I think it'd be really interesting. I mean, kits going out as early as 2027. I mean, so we're talking about next year. We're going to start getting some more information on people having the console in hand. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very
Let me try to see
interesting.
if I can get my hands on one of those.
Yeah.
But that's a good point though. I mean, we know that, with Project Helix coming, like Xbox has been trying to consolidate the whole PC console thing, right? Like they don't want that. They're not even worried about console wars. I think we literally heard the quote was that they gave up on console wars and they're trying to basically tackle the streaming wars when it comes to gaming. And that's something that we see taking full swing. Not to mention that we just heard about, Xbox being possibly trying to partner with Netflix to kind of combine
for a bundle.
some type of bundle with Netflix and Game Pass together. And then who knows what that equals in the future, some type of UI on Netflix that you can just access Game Pass immediately from or something. You know what
That
I
is
mean? And it just
crazy to think about.
continue to go. It's like, hey, I'm on Netflix and now you just click a button and now the whole thing turns green from red to green and now you're in the Game Pass essentially. You know what I mean? So it's like, what
That's
type of
crazy to think about.
like, you know what I mean?
That's
Like
nuts,
that's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, they're definitely building up to it, right? They're talking about making it more seamless. Like I was reading a lot of their press releases over the past couple days. Like they're pushing for that consolidation. Like you're saying, they're wanting to what was the Asha's like strengthen the brand, right? Like as far as not losing that out to everything else, right? But also, I mean, it's going to be interesting because Steam is essentially doing the same thing. Like because the
Steam
project
has a full screen mode.
they've got
They
a
do
full
have a
Steam
full
mode.
screen mode already on PC where you can hold your controller up, you can press your thing, and then it automatically goes full screen, and it becomes an entire like console UI through Steam, though, essentially.
And they got the Steam machine coming soon, right? Like,
and
I think this is why, as a bit of a kind of segue into the next one, which is the PlayStation, right? This is probably exactly why. And I mean, there's the rest of this is essentially like the partnership. The Xbox had their partner development thing. They announced a sweep of new games. hardware upgrades, things like that, or software upgrades and things like that. But really, I think the meat and potatoes of it is the fact that like Xbox is they're ramping up, right? Steam is ramping up. Like they've got the Steam machine, they've got their own console built in, right? Like you, and this is why Sony's trying to pull out of the PC game, right? They're not wanting to have their games being played on Xbox hardware. They don't want their games being played on a Steam console, right? It's one thing when it's just like, all right, cool, you've got a PC computer. Everyone's pretty much got a computer. It is what it is. But now we're talking about, oh, you guys are making consoles? Can't have that, right?
Yeah.
So, and then they're increasing prices, right? But like that seems to be the name of the game everywhere. Everybody seems to be increasing their prices, but I think it's
Increasing your prices on an old system is insane. I think
Wild
across the
work.
board.
it
I don't know
is.
how this is gonna look for like that. That's just insane. Like I think everything raised like $100, give or take. A few, give or take like tens or twenties, but it's definitely like
Yeah.
$100 raise across the board.
It's counterproductive, man.
Yeah,
For
it
sure.
seems like we're going backwards in a way, like right when we were getting to that point where we thought, hey man, like this not only are the console wars over, but we're heading to this place where there will be a like overlap of games and gamers and people being able to share in the fun and all of that. And seems like these companies are like, hey, there's no money in fun.
Yeah.
It seems like that's kind of the stance in how all of these companies look at it, is that there's no money in fun. But I feel like that is the furthest thing from the truth. And also we know that that Sony is behind doing this not only because of all the reasons that DJ was just talking about, but they also don't like their games being modded. Like they're not a fan of that at all, actually. Like they
Mhm.
do not think that it's cool for the gamer to be able to go into the files and change Spider-Man to Invincible and fly around the city. You know what I mean? That's not what the game is like. They're like, nah, bruh, hell nah. Like, that's not who do you think you are, essentially, is what their reaction to it continues to be. And they're trying what they can in the background to be able to stop that from happening. And the way you do that is, guess what? You make your own PlayStation PC app, and you have to have this anti-cheat. You have to have this thing installed in order to even do it in the same way before
Mhm.
you can open up Fortnite or any of these other games. You gotta have that anti-cheat installed and opened up. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So I understand it, but also damn you, Sony.
Well, I
That's
mean,
legit.
they were.
Legit. Like you get it to a certain degree. Like I understand, right? Like you want
Yeah.
your stuff to be your stuff. You don't want to share. I get that. But to hike the price and then to be like, how dare you guys be creative with our things? Like that's just
How
crazy.
dare you?
Like how dare you guys be the creative people and find a way to enjoy our games even more? Wow, how could you possibly do something so crazy? That's selfish of you guys. What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane, man. I did not
Mhm.
honestly. I never saw this move coming.
No.
I never saw this move coming. I think we talked about Netflix and Xbox like joining up a long time ago. I think that's been like a point
Yeah.
of contention that I've been trying to say, like, hey man, this is gonna happen. We need to be scared.
Yeah, you've been at the forefront of
For a
that one.
while. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yo, this streaming stuff is not gonna go over the way that we wanted to in the long run. Because guess what? If Netflix and Game Pass can do that, guess what Netflix already has? Ads. So that means maybe there's a way that they start implementing ads into your Game Pass to where, hey, you know what I mean? It's like, I do not want to go down that road at all. But they've been trying to ads in video games has been a point of contention for the last 5 to 7 years, I think.
Yeah.
As they've
Yeah.
been kind of talking about it. They've been trying to figure out ways to do it without ruining the player's experience, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. So having stream going on, and you get 10 hours of stream time a month ad free. And then, as soon as your 11th hour starts, you get ads every 2 hours of game time. Like, bro, I don't
Mhm.
want to see that type of
And
stuff.
that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna
Yeah.
commodify it. They're gonna turn it into another subscription. Like, oh, that's just the basic
Mhm.
package. If you pay for the premium package, you can be ad free. And then
Yeah. and you get ad-free streaming and gaming for $100 a month. Like,
Yeah.
wow,
That's
how
just
awesome!
adds another
Like,
tier per subscription. That it's
Yeah.
just it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm not looking forward to that, brother.
That's not fun.
Not looking
Not
forward
Like
looking
they
forward to
already
that
kind of in
at
hot
all.
water with them raising the game pass prices. Like, come on, guys, relax, relax.
Yeah. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see what happens. Sony is also one of those companies, though, that kind of just get to do whatever they want, and people are going to keep buying and keep doing it because they have the commodity, right? They have the like
Yeah.
unlike with Xbox, you can't just go and buy an Xbox and play Spider-Man. You know, you can't just go get an Xbox and play Ghost of Tsushima. You just can't do that. You know, like it's not possible. So they corner the market in a very specific and smart way. And it seems like they're only going to continue to do that. So let us know how you guys are feeling about Sony and this Sony thing that they're doing and the Xbox thing that they're doing. There's a lot of moves going on. I don't even know what the landscape of video games and everything looks like in 2030 anymore. Like literally 3 years from now, the whole entire landscape of everything is just going to be crazy.
Oh, for sure.
1000%.
I think that was it for our gaming section. So let us know all your gaming thoughts and stuff in the comment section down below as we move on to Invincible. We not only have the season premiere of Invincible, but also the 4th episode has been released this week. And while the world recovers from the global catastrophe of last season, a changed Mark struggles with guilt as he fights to protect his home and the people he loves, setting him on a collision course with a powerful new threat that could alter the fate of humanity forever. The 3rd season of Invincible nominated for the Critics' Choice Awards for Best Animated Series in 2025, as well as consecutive Primetime Emmy Award nominations in 2020 and 2025. The 3rd season of Invincible is Prime Video's most watched animated season of all time, marking the biggest return season of all time across all Prime Video's adult animation originals. That is insane, but it makes sense.
Crazy stats right there.
Invincible is a great show. I think the storytelling has been immaculate in Invincible as well. I think Invincible has been one of the shows that I can repeatedly rewatch over and over and over and over again, and almost every single time I see something new, I feel a different emotion than the last time that I watched it. There's a new plot thread that I didn't even realize that they kept in there, and every time I watch the show, I get a new appreciation for the Adam Eve special that they did when I watch that again. I mean, everything about this show, it's like one of the most rewatchable things ever, because there are so many different characters and plot lines that are going on. Even in this season, I think this is the season that they've taken a lot of creative liberty, and I think there's a couple of things that happen this season that don't even happen in the comics at all. Case in point, the last episode that we just watched is one of those things. And I love it, man. I love Invincible. I love every character in Invincible. And the last episode was major filler, but I still enjoyed it as well. How you guys feeling about the show and the episodes overall?
It was you could consider it a filler episode, absolutely, because it was kind of completely off base from what's going on, and it involves a character who, at this point in the book, is no longer even part of the book, in Damien Darkblood. Like, once he got sent to hell, like, that was the end of his story for the rest of the book. But now we got this whole other arc with him and his sister and say, like, it's a lot that we got that's just not there in the book. Like, there's no more.
It felt very backdoor pilot-y.
It really was, right? It really was.
It felt like a backdoor pilot. Like, it felt like after this season is done, they will announce a Damien Darkblood show. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're gonna announce a Damien Darkblood show for sure. That's the way that everything felt. Like,
it really did. It really did. Cause I was like, hold on, okay. All right, it was cool to see him. Like, yeah, okay, dark blood, let's go. Like, oh, it's a lot of dark blood. Okay. Oh, it's a whole thing.
It's a damn dark blood episode.
This is a dark blood episode featuring Invincible, yo.
Yes,
like,
yes.
All right, okay, I see what we're doing. And then, they literally set up a future plot thread with him. So I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
Yeah.
it. Sure, let's keep it going.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder,
I've
like, why?
well, I mean, Kirkman and Otley and whatnot, like the creators of the book, they're heavily involved as EPs, and even Kirkman writing some of the episodes. Like, so
Mm,
it feels like, we use those words, right? Filler, canon, but like, I mean, like
yeah.
it's canon, right? Because like he's directly involved. It'd be different if it was like a Netflix adaptation type of situation. That's not to say that
Mm,
there's some good Netflix adaptations, right?
but I understand what you're
Um,
saying.
or like, oh, well, this happened in the book, but not this. But like with
Yeah.
the creators being so heavily involved, and the absolute love that they've shown, right, to the source material, I think one of the things. I bring that point up to specifically say, like, that episode where it showed Nolan's backstory a little more,
Mm,
right? And like
fire,
showing him on
fire.
Viltrum, like getting like just like that brutality, like this is what he grew up in, right? And then like
Mm-hmm.
you know how TikTok is, right? You see the edits, right? But and so you see like that, and then it immediately cuts to him beating Mark's face in, and
Mark.
it's just like
Yeah.
it, it's that literal trauma response of like, I can only do exactly what I learned to do, right? I grew up in this is what I'm supposed to do, right? Like he's beating his son's face in, and like, in that almost that mirror aspect of like that reaching up, and it's just like, nah, man, like, but like, and also seeing kind of like how his dad almost was like, felt that like, nah, he's had enough, right? Like, um yeah. Or like that scene where when he's teaching Mark how to fight and he punches him in the chest real hard, and he's just like, I'm sorry. Like wow, like, oh man. And like you watch that, like, in the moment, and you're thinking like, oh, he's just faking it. Like apparently he was faking everything, and then he flies off, right? Uh, but then you get this added layer, right? Of like, that wasn't in the books, but like that added layer that makes Omni-Man that much more complex of a character, so
Mm,
that it makes that much more sense that like when he is beating his son's face in, and he's like, where are you going to be in 500 years? And he's like, what are you going to have? And he's like, I'm going to have you. Right. And he
but yeah.
flies off, and then he goes to this other planet, has a whole other kid. And he's just like, you don't understand. Like, like I'm trying to change. Like I feel this, change in me. Right. I need you to protect your brother.
Mhm.
Right. Um, it's really cool. I think this is probably one of my favorite shows. Like, it's because they've, since they, like you said, like I could rewatch this, and
Yeah.
and see something different every single time, and it's done so well, and you don't see that happen a lot. I feel like you don't see that happen a lot, especially with something that's an adaptation, where it's just like, even situations where it's like, oh, is this filler? Is this canon? This didn't happen exactly one to one. Where you're just like, but like,
Mhm.
what they're putting on the screen is great.
This show really does feel like what Young Justice could have been if they never did time jumps in between seasons.
Dude.
like
Really?
honestly, you can see every single thing that causes a character to go one way or the other. No
Yeah.
matter what character it is, even Machine Head, right? Like
Mm.
even seeing Machine Head's rise from where we see
Mm.
him in season 1 to where we see him now, like every single character has wants, they have a desire, like they have these things that they do. Even I can't think of bro's name, the stone dude, I can't think of his name right now, but the stone dude who keeps going to
Titan. I think his name's Titan.
Titan, even seeing the way Titan's wife in the background changes over the course of the season. When we first meet her, she's like she works at a diner, and she's like this different person. And then as we continue to see her, she's like, yo, baby, I told you we should have expanded to the east side. It was the best decision that we could have made. I was like, oh my God, like this is like, she's changed, right? Like all of these every character changes in such drastic ways. And I love that it's not just like, previously on Invincible, and then you get back into the universe and everything's back to being normal. Like, no, bro, Chicago is still demolished. Like all of these places are still in rubble. And like, this is not just, hey, we have superheroes, so everything's back to normal. Like, no, bro, like there are like moments and when that dude looks at Invincible after he saves them and the whole crowd is standing there and they're just mugging him because they don't know how to feel. Like, there's just so many layers to everything, and I love it. I love it. I have no idea how many seasons that they have planned for this show, but I feel like it can go on forever. Like, literally, I feel like it could never end. That's the way they make it feel.
With Kirkman being involved directly like this, I mean, honestly, they could go forever. Really,
yeah.
Just like you guys pointed out, and DJ made a really good point with fleshing out characters more, the backstory of Nolan, Damien Darkblood, all of this, what we got with Darkblood, like this is all stuff that we weren't necessarily privy to, right?
Yeah.
And so you can do that with these characters because who else knows these characters better than the man who wrote the characters? So he can essentially do more in this format that he didn't get to do in another medium. And it's like he's just literally just taking something and just expanding upon it more. Really, all he does is just expanding on a character that we didn't get that much of. So we knew Darkblood. He came from here. He has
Actually, to even expand on your point, he's doing that with Battle Beast in the new comics that are coming out.
Exactly.
And I think there's also Capes. Like, that's a comic that's in the Invincible universe as well. And he's basically able to tell, like, you can take all of that new material that he's actively making right now and then make new material for shows that is incorporating that material as well. I mean, they went to Battle Beast's entire planet and like gave us a little cameo, you know what I mean, of like the other people that are there and just so on and so forth. So yeah, I think they could cook a Battle Beast show. Holy, there's no way that people won't be there for that, bro. Like, there's no
Those
way.
books are
That's
so
gonna
good too.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like, they could cook. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You know what's crazy? I saw on Twitter that Rob Liefeld, he had mentioned how like the Invincible books didn't, like, they barely made any money. Like, they weren't popular. Like, in that, like, the sales from The Walking Dead was essentially helping prop up the fact that Kirkman, Otley, and all them were just writing the book purely for the love of the game, basically. Like, we wanted to tell these stories, we wanted to tell these heroes, right? And now, right, like now they're able to flesh that out even more, because I could only imagine, like, with a book with Image, right, which a mostly independent label, right? It's not a Marvel, it's not a DC, more creator control. And so they're telling these stories how they want to tell them, but I guarantee you there's still an editor saying like, "Nah, you got to cut that out. Like, no, we don't have time for that. We don't have room for that. Yada yada yada. You got to keep going. Like, sales aren't great. Da 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 da." But like then, like, you got a show now, and it's just like, yeah, I'm putting that in there. Like, I'm doing an episode about Darkblood, and you can't do nothing about it. Like,
literally.
So,
and it's interesting too really because we're already through the entire first compendium of Invincible as well. So, I don't know. I like, hey, if that's so what I think the first compendium is like the first 3 seasons for real, or maybe like the first 2 in some of 3. So if that's the case, then it's like 3, 6, 9. We could be looking at 10 seasons of Invincible, bro. That's crazy.
I'm here for it.
And not to mention the spinoffs. Like, they gave us the Adam Eve spinoff, like special presentation that was an hour long.
I want Battle Beast. I want Rex. I want
the
Immortal. Give me all that.
Definitely.
What were they called? The Teen Team? Give us a Teen Team special, bro.
Yeah.
And that is like the focus of Rex, though. You get Rex as the main character, but they're young. And then, you know what I mean? You get to get the backstory of all of that. Yep, sign me up. And I think we could nerd out about Invincible forever, to be completely honest. Like, it's just so it's so good, And then the way we end episode 4 with him and Eve just sitting on the roof just talking, and then he looks up, and then Omni-Man is just, come on, son, war is upon
Yeah,
us.
we got
Like,
business.
oh my
Need your help.
God, bro! Like,
go.
what?
He's
It's
like, bro, you
time
gotta
for
be kidding me.
war, buddy. It's time
Gotta
for
be kidding me.
war. Oh,
And
man.
that's another storyline with that, and then with Eve being pregnant with their baby, soon to be with Tara. So that's cool. That was a really good way to end that episode. Just like she's really about to tell him, she's like, all right, yeah, there's no good way to say this, and then it's like, oh, come on.
Get ready for my arrival, worm.
Like the worst time. The worst time. Like, bro, what do you want? It's like a war happening and we need your help. So come on, bro.
Hilarious.
The last thing I'll say about it is that I would never want to be living in the Invincible universe. Like, I don't want to live in that world. Like,
Invincible universe and the boys universe, like top 10 worst places to live.
Easily. Put me in Marvel, put me in DC.
This is really bad out there.
Like,
it's really bad out there, man.
It seemed like they just get attacked by kaijus, demons, and
every
all the
day.
time. Like, just all the time. Like, it's just happening. Like, get me out. Nope, I don't want none of that. Like, why do the Thraxans hate the humans so much? Like, why do they just keep pulling up? Like, bro, I just got so many questions.
They keep pulling up.
They won't leave them alone.
That's crazy. And like you said, like they don't sweep that under the rug either. Like, that damage is there. Like,
the city is
forever. I couldn't. The real estate has to be the only viable job, because like I couldn't imagine being like, oh, I got to go work downtown in the office, and then be like, yeah, that building's gone.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think actually Eve's dad said that. She was like, I used to work. He's like, I used to work in the mattress store, but you and your dad freaking destroyed my job, G. So now I'm unemployed. So now I work at Burger Mart. Thank you.
It's the only viable job in the Invincible universe is working for the government or real estate.
That's funny. Like, well, I had a job. Just sitting there bugging Mark the whole time. Yeah, but you and your
bro was so salty. Bro was so salty.
Just that they're mugging him.
That had me rolling. I'm not gonna lie, that was hilarious.
I was like,
all valid though.
Awkward.
All valid.
We kind of talked about this already, but price hikes are running rampant everywhere. Netflix has raised their prices $1 in their standard with ads, $2 in the standards with no ads, and another $2 with the premium form. And then Paramount Plus also raising their stuff across the board as well. So
which is
it's
crazy.
Just kind of I mean, Paramount, dog, you I don't even know what to put on you, my boy. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't even
not sure.
Hey, you check out that new Paramount Plus show. Never heard those words be spoken ever. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild, bro.
But though you ain't lying though, because like low key, Paramount's full of a lot of legacy shows. Like I watch, Star Trek, all those stuff, like NCIS, all that stuff, right? But like,
yeah, bro,
you
got to be
not really doing too hot with
to
like
get Paramount Plus.
New IP.
A Paramount Plus subscription comes with AARP. You feel me? Like
insane, dude.
It's just hand in hand, you know.
That's insane.
And Netflix, they just got $2 billion and they're over here raising prices. That's just stingy. That's just stingy.
They like, hey, but in order to actually keep this $2 billion in revenue, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they started talking about. Like, bro, I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that.
We had record-breaking profits. Like, that's like, okay.
We had record-breaking profits, so we're gonna raise everything by $4.
Yeah, we just had our best quarter ever. I'm gonna charge you guys more for it. Congratulations.
Yeah, and then you got Paramount, who can't afford to buy WBD. You know, like, hey, we got to raise the price.
They're trying to buy WB on
together.
credit, bro.
We gotta pick up the slack, bro.
That's insane, dog. They're trying to put
just raise stuff 50 cents. Just raise it 50 cents. That's all.
Don't put a whole entity on layaway. I don't understand.
Yo, Paramount is insane, dude.
I
Like,
don't get
On
what
layaway.
the thought process is with them.
yo,
What we out here doing, y'all?
they just doing stuff, dude. They just doing stuff, man.
That's the epitome. Hey, I'm good for it. I know a guy. Like that's
Like, look at
Literally.
those prices, dude. What? Ad free? No, bro. No.
or just
Bruh,
run me my ads. At that point, just run me my
bruh,
ads.
At this
football
point,
season
yeah,
ain't
I
even
just watch
popping
the
right
ads,
now.
dog.
I have no reason for Paramount Plus. I'm not even watching Raiders on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, what is the point of Paramount, my guy? Like, I'm not even watching
even
CBS
watching the
Sports right
Raiders.
now. You feel me? Like, there's no reason for me to have this. Like, I can watch SpongeBob on Tubi. You feel me? Like, bro, I don't need this, G. I don't need this, man. Bruh. Bruh,
Oh,
what in the
I can watch
world?
SpongeBob on Tubi, bro.
Like, bro, I'm about to get it popping with Pluto TV, bro. I have no need for Paramount, man.
Hey, bro,
Oh,
Paramount owns Pluto though.
what a terrible business
That's one of their
strategy.
companies.
That's a terrible business model.
Bro, that's just crazy, dude.
No wonder.
That's crazy.
No wonder.
They're giving it out here for free because they're charging an arm and a leg for this.
Bro, they gotta do something, bro. They
They're
gotta do something.
really poorly run, man.
I can't wait for that hearing, yo. I can't wait for the hearing to hear the Paramount CEO in front of Congress talking about all the things that they could do. And I can't wait to hear that, bro. I'm waiting for it. I'm watching the full 3 hours, bro, because I know it's just about to be. Just shenanigans, bro.
But with whose
Hey, it's
money
gonna
are
be
you
like-
doing this?
Yeah, it's gonna be like Groot in terms of money. We have no money. Like
We have no money.
Yo, yeah,
Legit.
man.
It's legit.
I don't know, man. I have no idea what this looks like, bro. I said it with gaming just now. In 3 years, we have no idea what the landscape's going to look like. I feel like that's just across the board. Like for tech, for entertainment, for gaming, for basically everything. In 3 years, the landscapes are going to be so different. 2030 is going to be insane. I mean, you can already see that a lot of these companies are kind of planning for 2030 right now. If you really look at all the stuff that they're doing, the CEOs that are getting fired, the moves that they're making, they're really trying to set up the next 3 years. So once they hit to 2030, they can start hitting the ground running with new stuff. So that's why there's a lot more infrastructure being put into place, a lot more systems being built, a lot more AI getting spread rampantly through everything as fast as possible. Actually, that's something that we could have talked about. We're kind of running long here, but we could have talked about how Disney basically canceled their deal with Sora AI, and then also OpenAI basically canceled Sora completely after that deal fell through, and a lot of their other video things that they were trying to go into. So, maybe the world is healing. Maybe the world is healing, chat.
so Disney canceled the deal first, and then Sora. Because when I saw it, I thought Sora shuttered the studio. Essentially, they closed up shop, and then Disney. That's what I thought happened. Like,
okay, well, what the first thing that I saw was that Disney canceled their deal with Sora AI. That's the first thing that I saw. And then I think a day or two later, Sora then said, not only is that they put out that they were canceling their erotic video maker that they were planning on creating, that they were going to do spicy things with. They decided to completely shut that down. And with that shutdown, they were shutting down all of Sora AI. So, the fact that they were trying to have this partnership with Disney at the same time as they were trying to create this erotic AI thing. I mean, bro, I don't know where the priorities were. Like, people are just shot in their, people's brains are shot, dude. Like, I can't handle it.
Like, do they not know who Disney is?
Did they not learn from the OnlyFans? Like,
that's what I'm about to say. Like to forget about the whole bow thing.
I forgot about the whole bow thing until just now. I'm about to be talking about OnlyFans for a little while now, bro.
Because OnlyFans is crazy.
Where's Muggin, yo? Where's Muggin? I know,
crazy,
I know he got the subscription. He was. I remember, bro. I remember, bro.
He was trying to get us to sign up with him.
Yeah, he was like, yo, he's like, I'm signing up just to get the backstage information. Like, okay, buddy, whatever you say.
They can keep that behind a paywall. I don't want to know that bad.
You got it. You got it.
You got it.
You got it, my guy. You got it. I don't need the I don't need the insider information that bad. It's okay.
I will never forget that picture of bruh as Cyclops
in the
with
Speedo.
nothing but the Speedo on. The Speedo in the cross.
The man was proud and confident, man.
Speedo with the crossbody.
I don't know why they fired me. Like, okay.
I don't know what happened. Like, neither do we, Bo. Neither do we. I couldn't tell you what happened.
If you don't know what happened, we sure don't, Bo.
Could have been the Cyclops Speedo or the Bonely fans.
If only we knew what happened here. Oh, brother. Well, from OnlyFans to lanterns, I guess, for the Great Lanterns debate. We ain't got to stay on this long. I want to I think we could do a whole dedicated episode just going about lanterns and talking about it. I think maybe we should. I think maybe we should do like a little great debate in Discord or something and let people kind of jump in and stuff and really talk about it, because I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on it, and I agree with a lot of the opinions and I don't agree with a lot of the opinions.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of go through it. We'll give the last 8 minutes here just talking about lanterns. The series. Let's see. Yeah, the series follows new recruit John Stewart, Aaron Pierre, and lantern legend Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler, two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. So this is looking. I mean, we got the trailer obviously not too long ago. The immediate reaction was there's not a lot of green. Immediate reactions were, where is the aura around bro when he's flying? I saw those. I saw that drove me crazy. I can't lie. If you guys are in the Discord, I was kind of spazzing out about some of these questions that people were asking. Because my answer was just, did you guys not watch Superman? Like, I don't know what's going on. That's all I can say to a lot of those things. Because we even asked, like, hey, we noticed it in the trailer, right? There's no aura connecting rings to the stuff, because he was just making middle fingers appear out of nowhere, like no connection to the aura. Straight out the ground, bro. And then so I was mind blown when people were asking where that aura stuff was yet again. But that's neither here nor there. They said, there's obviously a lack of green in the trailer. That is definitely something that we can all agree on. I mean, at the top of this episode of this show, we were talking about Green Lantern, and we showed those covers, and they were all vibrant and beautiful, and every page in them was filled with color as well. So when you put that comparison to each other, there's definitely a lack of color. But this has also been said to be a true crime mystery detective thing, more so than anything else. And it's kind of been promoted to be a fish out of water lantern series, if you will. Not the normal thing that you would expect to see from a lantern series. Almost kind of like the exact thing that just happened with Wonder Man, if you want to talk about it in that way.
Yeah, that was my comparison.
Kind of like a completely different take on this Marvel stuff that we all know and how it usually portrays and plays out. It wasn't that at all. And that's kind of what we're getting here. So, of course, mixed reactions are coming from longtime comic book fans, new fans that know nothing about anything, and they just go and Google stuff, and then they see that the stuff that they Googled does not align with the thing that they see in the trailer. And a lot of this has to do with the trust level that DC has kind of ruined over the last 15 years, for give or take, right? Like they've definitely ruined the image of a lot of stuff. No matter if the last movies that they have released more recently, well, I think the only Superman actually is the last movie
just
that they've
super for
released
now.
recently.
There's more. Yeah,
So
obviously got more
Superman,
coming.
we got Supergirl coming out. I think this is the first trailer that has come out with a negative reception from the DCU.
Yeah.
So all of that in tandem, I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. Go ahead.
To your point, and I said this in Discord, where I think Wonder Man is a really good comparison of how this series itself will kind of shake out. It'll be kind of heavily contingent upon these two guys right here on our screen, and it's going to be really character driven. It's going to be really based off of their performance, because in the same way with Wonder Man, it was based off of Yaya, right? We didn't get a whole lot of anything comic booky in that regard. Now I do think we'll get more elements here, as far as like what they do with their rings and all of that, because just the nature of the character, right? With Wonder Man, it's a little bit different. You can kind of play with the out of norm vibe and just have him be civilian the whole time in that regard, right? But even with lanterns though, like they walk around civilian like as well. So I think it's gonna be I think Wonder Man will be a really good comparison for this series on how they're gonna go, and then how the performance of it will be. Because the way Wonder Man was received, I'm gonna be real, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was great, but you know how these
Same.
kind of things go. And I didn't see it being so overwhelmingly accepted
Positive.
to the point where
Yeah.
they got a new season renewed off of it, right? They got a season 2 out of that. So that gives me hope for what the public potentially will see.
Reception.
Yeah, with lanterns. So
That's a good point.
I think that's a fair comparison to make, and everything that you said at the top, completely agree. All sides, there's a lot of things coming into one that's kind of causing everything that's going on discourse wise or conversation wise, and all fair. But I'm always the like, yeah, I have my initial reaction, my initial criticisms, my initial breakdowns, but I'm always like, well, let's wait and see how they execute, because that is really what's going to matter. So we'll see how it goes. I have high hopes. I do think this will hit. And we'll see how it goes.
DJ, talk to me, man. I know you're a little on the fence, a little more so, and on, what's your feelings, man?
I will say I was very, very loudly saying there should have been more green. With that being said, the show is just called Lanterns. I pick up the vibe. I understand what was said, and it's there. It certainly is a true detective-esque kind of show, and I have very little doubt that like they'll be able to pull this off. Like I think this is going to be a success. I think ultimately, once we see it, unless something goes way left, I think it's going to be good. Where I personally, as a fan, right, like if I take my like writer brain out of it, if I take my researcher analytic brain out of it and just think of it just as a fan, there is that frustration because you see the comic book medium, right? And there is a separation of medium, but like you see those comic books and they're vibrant and they're green and like there's that expectation. And it wasn't even about like, for me at least, like, oh, the aura or da 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 da. Like I just expected to see something like with Guy Gardner, right? Like we saw him do the middle fingers and da 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 da. Or even just like when they dropped the original trailer for Superman, we saw him do do the shot at the
yeah,
window, right, to block
it
out the
blocked
windows.
out
We
everything.
saw
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
something. We knew he's a Green Lantern. He's got green based powers, right? Like a ring, and like powers came out the ring. That's all I'm saying. Granted, right? Grain of salt. It was only a teaser, right? It wasn't even a full trailer. It was a teaser. My gripe I had with that is that the teaser essentially was just the same shots that they released from the promo footage. Like, oh, we're announcing lanterns, and it's we've announced the cast. It's going to be Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre, and then they're standing on the dusty road, right? And then there was a shot of the car, right? It's like, part of me is upset that like we didn't get to see more, even from an aspect of like, I have no idea what this show is about. From that aspect of it, right? Like, because again, like the shots of like the stadium, we kind of already saw that. The shots of the warehouse inside, like that meat packing thing, like we kind of already saw that, right? So my frustration at that point kind of more so comes from like, I don't feel like I've seen enough to where it wasn't a satisfying teaser, like on multiple different levels. Like, and I can understand that it was just a teaser, and I know there's more to come. I'm hoping the more to come shows us more, right? And I hope we certainly start to see their powers at some degree. But yeah, like ultimately though, I think from what also we have seen, I think it's not going to be a terrible show, right? I think it's going to be a pretty decent show, no matter what. Like,
Yeah. I agree with you though. Like, I agree with you in the form of nothing new was teased in the teaser, but also I feel like there's this hard balance that you can't really balance at the same time, because it's on one side, it's like we try not to look at things with our analytical writer brain, right? But for the majority of people, they haven't seen those teaser pictures in the first place either, right? Like, only we have seen those because we have our finger on the pulse so heavily. So they have to show them something, and it's the stuff that so for us, because we're in that balance of being like super nerd that's trying to look at it subjectively, but we're super nerdy about it at the same time. So it's just a hard balance of things to try to be able to figure out, because like the same thing like we said in the Discord, right? With Spider-Man, with Spider Noir, the first pictures that they showed was bruh on the roof with the green screen behind, and then right, that was the first thing they showed. That's not what a lot of people had not seen that, a lot of people hadn't seen that. And I feel like we had the same talks when that came out. I remember someone in the Discord was like, I just don't know how Nicolas Cage is going to be doing these stunts. And I was like, my brother in Christ, he's not. He's going to be a stunt double. You know what I mean? And it's like we get into these moments where we get so deep in the analytical side of our brains while also kind of trying to look at it as a normie, that it messes it up, because we can't. It's impossible to look at stuff as a normie when we've known about these projects before James Gunn even announced them, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to know. Like, that's not how everyone else's reception of this stuff has been. So while I do understand, like with other people, but that's why I'm saying, like, right, we have to feel. I try to look at things from a normie perspective. So I'm like, okay, if I was a normie, what is the only information that I would have?
Yeah.
The information from the Superman movie about what Green Lanterns do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only information that they have about Green Lantern. So for me, I'm like, what are we mad about? Because we know about all of the stuff that the main complaints are from homie that's Green Lantern. Like, his suit barely had any green, if we're being honest. It was mainly white and black with green accents on it.
That wasn't even a Green Lantern suit. That was a uniform from a billionaire.
From Maxwell Lord. You feel me? So
his suit was the same as everybody else's suit. He just had hints of green. So
it's just hard. I think it's just hard to figure it out. And I honestly feel like we are going to get a crazy start to that show. I'm hoping at least.
Yeah, I think so.
You remember in Loki, when we had the King the Conqueror episode, and it was like the very kind of first episode of it, and it kind of started the episode with the big bang, and then you kind of saw the entire universe come into existence from the start of the episode, type of thing. I think we do something like that, to where it's like, even if we're just following the ring through space or something very simple in that way, to kind of set the tone right off the back.
And I agree in that regard, because I think all of this is intentional.
Mhm.
Like, there's a reason they didn't give us green teaser trailer. There's a
Exactly.
reason we haven't seen anything but the promo pictures in motion. There's a reason that there's a lack of just like information on screen wise, right? And
Mhm.
just putting things together, knowing that, yeah, the Lanterns are essentially like space cops, but they do dabble on Earth, like we just talked about with the comics happening. Kyle Lanterns back on Earth. There's going to be, we're going to get a moment, I believe, pretty early on that's going to signify this is bigger than what we have seen thus far.
Mm.
Because I think they kind of have to. You can't start something like this off like too slow and lose
For sure.
the audience who was already looking for green, right?
You can't
So I think
slog
there
for
has to
8
be
hours to get
something.
to a
Exactly. But you know
Exactly.
what today?
W callback.
But I think something like you mentioned, following the ring at some point or something like that, right? Just to start
Mhm.
things off, and then we end up here on Earth in this country town. Just something of that
Mhm.
degree will kind of like set the tone. Like, this is still a green thing that these guys are green, okay? These guys are
Yeah.
green. And it's just, maybe if we start like every episode like that, like if we're dealing with the green guys, we get something green. We're dealing with the yellow guys, we get something yellow. Dealing with the red guys, we get something red. Something like that. Something to kind of indicate early that it's more than what we've seen. Because all we've seen is these guys kind of just kicking it out in the dirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, even if you look at this, there's green accents everywhere in this, right? Like, even look at the little hue on the bar right here.
Yeah,
Like,
right
that's
behind
green.
them
You know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, right here.
It's
They got
subtle.
a little green right here. They got the green going on right here. Like, they're teasing it in the subtle way.
Like
And I don't know if,
little bits here,
yeah,
little bits
it's
there.
very little. It's like, hey, there's a little green here and there,
Little
and
tiny bit
you
of
know,
green I see,
and I feel that could be majorly frustrating. I think one thing that we can say after seeing this is that Ryan Reynolds' Green Lanterns did not age too badly, honestly. Like,
Being real,
that
no, you're right.
movie may be peak. Like, I may need to go back and watch it again. Like,
Being real,
like to be honest, like,
I'm gonna be straight up. I watched the movie, like, the first time I watched it, I was like, that actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Like, the way it was perceived, at least outwardly, I didn't get that same thing when I watched it for myself. And I was like, now, could it have been better? Absolutely. Like, were there things that just didn't work on screen? Absolutely. Like,
Absolutely.
and he's even joked about it himself and his other things, like with the whole CGI suit the entire time. Like, maybe some practical effects would have been better there. Sure. But like his performance in like just on like just a surface level, it was okay, right? So
yeah.
I think if you go back and watch it, it may actually not be that bad this day.
And the construction, like the constructs and stuff were insane that he was using. Like, just to be honest, like I think there was a moment where there was a plane crashing or something happened, and he made like an entire Hot Wheels track for it to kind of land. You know what I mean? And it was it's like, yo, that stuff was insane to see. Like when it first came out. And I remember he had like the giant Gatling gun and was shooting that. Like there's all these different things that's happened. So I am very interested in seeing it. Because to me, the way everybody reacted was almost like we're not going to see Oa in this, and I feel like we will.
I agree.
feel like we're, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of that stuff that's a given is still going to happen, even if it's not like the centerpiece of the episode, which I don't think it needs to be the centerpiece of the episode.
I don't even
either,
think we need to
just
see
to be
Oa.
honest, right? Like,
seeing a Guardian, maybe. Like, I don't think we need to see Oa specifically.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
I feel
that's
that.
fair.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna cook here.
I mean,
I hope they do at least.
I really think we get like the Wonder Man treatment here, man. Because like with the Wonder Man, so we didn't get anything Wonder Man. We didn't get anything. They didn't give us nothing. We had no set photos, barely.
So true.
We got like the
Oh, yeah.
little. Remember how long it took? We would do it like
And
every show. We were like, all right, we still ain't got anything Wonder Man. We still ain't got anything Wonder Man. We still, even their teasers, but even the little sizzle reel that they dropped, we got nothing.
Yeah.
They were in a car in that
Yeah.
one. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the
Yeah.
same vibes here. So I really feel like we're treading into Wonder Man territory, and we're in
But
for
I
some
think
good
the
stuff.
issue is that Wonder Man does not have nearly the same level of appreciation that
Agree.
Green Lanterns do. You know what I
Agree.
mean? So it gets hit differently, like right off the bat. Like the people that come in, there are expectations versus Wonder Man. There are not a lot of expectations when you come into that, right?
Yeah,
Wonder Man was so
absolutely.
meta too. Like
That's very
I feel like
true.
it's
Yeah.
apples and oranges. Like
Yeah.
the show that they did for Wonder Man, like the how they wrote it, how they shot it, how they portrayed that story. Like I
Even
feel
the
like that
marketing.
wouldn't. Yeah, even the marketing. If they had did a big promo push, I feel like Wonder Man probably would have failed because then it would have been like, well, y'all did all that for this. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
I feel like Wonder Man needed that mystery for it to work.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's
You're
a good
right.
point because
Yeah.
you go in not knowing anything.
Yeah. It's like,
And
what
even
exactly
the
is
trailer,
this?
the trailer,
And then Green Lanterns is exactly different because everyone knows something about every person that's ever been a Green Lantern, basically. You know
Facts.
what I mean?
at least all the major
Like,
ones, right? Everybody,
at least all
everybody
the
knows something
majors.
about John or Hal or Kyle. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
like
So,
it's like there's
it is
not
a
as
little
much
bit different.
leeway to play with in that same manner. It's
That's
like,
fair. That's a really
especially
good
when
point.
you have stuff like Snyder's Green Lantern, that's just a picture in a suit that never even really happened ever. And
Right.
that is still getting talked about to this day.
We
You know
got
what
more
I mean?
green in that.
Fair point.
Yeah,
Fair point.
exactly, right? So then it's immediately like
And
so,
to that point too, I think it would be like smart to show maybe a lantern fall in battle and we see the ring fly off like Snyder did. We saw the ring fly off.
yeah.
Even though we didn't get to see a proper lantern like on screen.
Where's Boss Logic when you need him? You know?
Don't do that. Don't do that. But,
Nah, you'd rather set them off. You've invoked his
but
name.
you know, like just to see something like of that nature with the ring flying off and like, all right, another person's going to get chosen soon.
Yeah. Actually, that would have been dope.
Sword crashing on Earth, and then I'm good. I'm happy.
Boom.
Honestly, that would have been a crazy teaser. Seeing just the ring flying through space like to Earth or something like that. That would have been a crazy
let it end with it approaching Earth.
No, see, look, you got the spaceship crowd. You know, you mimic the Superman teaser. Y'all remember that, right?
Oh yes.
Spaceship, fire, whatever, and then the ring. Cut.
And teaser.
Send me a check. That's
Literally,
it. I've been like,
actually, you're so right. That would have been everything. That's all you
You're
need.
right. That's
And that even goes to something that we talk about. I think that's why this Spider-Man trailer has been the best Marvel trailer that has ever hit the ground ever, right? Is because they did the exact thing that we're talking about. They gave us the montage in the trailer. Like we see Spider-Man fighting like 8 different people in that trailer, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like there is no questions about what's been going on. Oh, he's been fighting as Spider-Man for the last 4 years.
Oh, that's
well,
all
you know
he's
what I
doing.
mean? Like, how long has it been since the last movie? 4 years. Oh my gosh, what has he been doing since then? He's been fighting as Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, what about Ned and what? Oh, they've been going to college. Like literally, it just answers every question that you have in the trailer right there, bro. Like, then that thing is breaking records for a reason. So, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, we're at this point, I think, as a nerddom and a community to where I guess expectations are a little high. We've been riding the superhero wave for years. So there is a certain level of superhero-ness that is now expected to be brought to the table. We're not in the nervous, the superhero stuff work anymore. We're not really in that era anymore. So people are expecting them to take it serious. And I'm not going to lie, after having a bar so high like Superman, like Superman was the most comic booky thing that we have ever gotten as a nerd community. So to go from that to super grounded, I can understand the whiplash. I think that's what we said in the Discord. That it's a huge whiplash.
Just to throw this out here, curious as to how they'll present the X-Men when it comes time for that.
Dang, that's such a good point. Like, how serious do we get with it, huh? Like,
Yeah, right. Like where we how do we even put that on screen in a teaser or trailer form? Like how do we kind of tell you here they come, right?
Dang, that's a good point.
So we'll see,
Yeah, that's
man.
good. We'll see.
Yeah, you make a really good point just now. I'm not gonna lie. You make a really good point because, like, are they gonna do like the doomsday marketing is not the new status quo?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because we saw Cyclops there, and he's just we see him full
Oh
Cyclops.
yeah, he's
like,
completely maxing out right there. Yeah.
I mean, but maybe that is the new status quo? I mean, we look at the Spider-Man trailer. Look at how Daredevil Born Again episode 1 was. I mean, maybe the status quo is that all gloves are off and we are in this universe and we trust you to have some sort of understanding of what the hell is going on here.
That would be
Some
nice.
sort.
That would
just a little bit. Like, you know what I mean?
That would be
like
nice.
Daredevil, the episode 1 and how we start, that made me feel like, oh my gosh, they trust us. That's the way, like the same way I felt watching Superman. Like, that's the only time I felt like that. It's like, oh, they trust us.
Yeah.
They trust us now. Like not even us, because they know we're gonna be there, but it's like they trust the rest of the normies to be able to be like, oh yeah, Daredevil. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, yeah. So it's interesting. It's a conversation worth having, and maybe the debate is deeper than lanterns. So, let us know how you guys are feeling about it in the comment section down below. Are you hyped for lanterns? Are you hyped for any of the stuff that we've been talking about today? We want to know your full thoughts and opinions. You're going to probably see a whole bunch of clips and stuff from this one. So, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're crashing out at me because I think one battle after another is terrible, or if you stand with DJ because he wasn't a fan, if you're not a fan of that Lanterns trailer, or if you just vibing like Beezy and you're like, you know what, you guys make some solid points. Let us know how you feeling in the comment section down below. Let us know where you stand. Let us know how you feeling. We hope we're back. We're gonna be back at it like we never left. So we appreciate all of you guys for tuning in with us. And if you made it to the very, very end, we really, really appreciate y'all that's here until the very end. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, do all the things. Everyone's stuff will be in the description boxes. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming at you guys these next couple of months. Actually, is just going to be a lot of stuff happening. I mean, Daredevil Born Again is happening over the next 2 months. We got Invincible happening. We got the new Punisher show that's coming out. Comics left and right just keep releasing. It seems like comics have been getting better and better and better and better and better, bro. Like every week, it seems like there's some dope comics that are getting released. So we're excited, we're hyped, and we're happy to have you guys nerding out with us. Shout out to y'all. And shout out to you, DJ. Shout out to you, Mike Beasy. Appreciate y'all. Any final words or final statements before we jump up out this G thing?
Oh man, check this out. So we just talked about JJK ending. We got Fire Force coming to an end here in the next week or so. Man, we're reaching the ends of seasons, the ends of runs completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Chainsaw Man manga just ended. Man, we are ending a lot of things that have been long running, and it's kind of sad. But we do have other things in the works. Other things are coming. So, but like, shout out to the manga readers out there. Shout out to the anime watchers. We got some good stuff out here, man. We got some good stuff. So I'm gonna put my focus on the anime right now.
It's definitely the end of an era for anime right now, yo.
Man.
It's crazy to see. It's crazy that the big three have gone, a new big three took their place, and now that big three is about to be on its way out. Like, it's crazy, man. DJ, what's your last thoughts you got for us, man?
Read a comic book. Like it's that's all I could say. Read a book, pick one, start somewhere.
There you go. Read a book.
Read a book. Read a book. Read a motherfucking book. Read a book. Read a book. Read a motherfucking
You beat
book.
me to it. You beat me to it.
I don't know if anybody remember that, G, but you know what I'm saying.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Read a book. Hey, we definitely appreciate you guys for being here with us, and we'll see you on the next one. As I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.